and welcome to Newegg Live with our Asus Takeover! Yeah! Welcome, one and all. We're a big fan of Asus over here, and we've got all sorts of fun deals and steals for you revolving around their products today. So, if you're just joining us, feel free to check out that TikTok shopping cart right there to get an idea of what we're talking about today, and to get a sneak peek before anybody else. You know, the people sleeping, not checking the cart, they're gonna miss out on some stuff. This stuff goes off the walls so fast.
Yeah, we're very much early but gets the worm here. Make sure you check out everything we have in the bag, and this Asus takeover is starting now.
It isn't starting. It has started.
It is commenced.
It is past tense starting.
It has started. It started before we came on. We're just continuing the. I'm just rambling.
Yeah, what's happening?
I just let it go. More people are coming in, and
go.
I'm just saying hi, like the gas.
All right. Hey, and also, yeah, make sure to type in the Asus Takeover right here in TikTok shop. You say it once and only once. Trust me, we got people on it. Don't spam the chat, please, please, please.
Once is enough.
Once is enough. And you know what, Steve? Do you want to give them the details of what's going on when we're going to have that lovely surprising moment for everybody? And what it will be? It's a surprise for all.
Yeah.
There will be an opportunity to win a limited edition Asus ROG sweatshirt. And it will happen in about 1 hour and 42. Jason, get out of my way.
Oh, sorry, I moved again.
What? How dare you?
Where am I in your way?
We're
Am
fighting.
I in your way? Did I get out? Is it good? I think I'm good.
I don't like this.
You're wearing the shirt.
Actually, I quit. Anyway,
right, it's been nice knowing you,
you'll have the chance to win a limited edition Asus ROG sweatshirt in about 1 hour and 42 minutes. So the way you do that, you get in the chat, you put Asus Takeover in the chat.
You say it once.
When it's time for the drawing, depending on how many people are here, we'll either pull a name or we'll do some chaos.
Chaos is fun.
What's chaos?
We'll explain that later because I don't want to get people
a reminder
confused.
that don't spam the chat goes for everything. If you've said it once, trust me, we'll see it. You don't need to say it 3 times, Sweden.
If we need you to go crazy in the comments with spamming things,
we will let you know.
Believe me, you will hear my dulcet tones saying, "Fly, my pretties," and that's your cue.
You're the dulcet tones of Chief Steve.
Yeah, I'm dulcet.
You are certainly dulce.
We're asked, can we ship to Sweden?
We cannot.
You
so,
go.
K-Tech, here's what happens. You are watching the American-based Newegg Live, but we ship from different locations. It just depends on, we don't know off the top of our heads exactly what countries have what access. So I usually recommend going onto Google and just typing in Newegg and having it send you to the correct website within your country if you have one available, and that's usually how you find out whether or not it'll ship to you. But we personally, this stream with these deals are American based only.
Yeah, Kindachi08, as far as I'm aware, yes, it is just in the TikTok chat. Come join us on TikTok.
Yes.
Come on TikTok, Newegg's TikTok.
Correct. That's also where all the chat is happening. That's where all the people are. So if you want to join the fun times, that's the place to be.
And Abdel Albaz, have a good night, man. We appreciate you joining. You were here last time I was here too.
Yeah, Abdel Boaz is always around. They're having a good time.
Kill that exam. Light work.
The AI girl is usually over on Newegg V Live, which is a different page. But right now she is off making more content for you all. So she's not on live today, but don't worry, she'll be around. And X2C, guess what? That's the whole great thing about watching us here on Newegg Live is you don't need any promo codes. Everything that we're talking about that's on deal is going to be right there in that TikTok shop. Sans promo code. If you want though, if you get it, if you don't see it there, you're gonna have to add it to your cart and then look at the cart and the difference. What's the word? The discount. The discount.
Discounts are going to be applied in the cart.
It'll be applied in the cart. So if you don't see it
words
applied
are
in the, words are so hard.
Oh man.
Oh, words are so hard.
Guy with the big mouth woken up, but yes, he's doing other stuff working. The big mouth, Ethan. I'm assuming Ethan's the
other
mouth.
Woods.
The other Woods.
It's honestly hard to narrow it down.
Yeah, we're both really loud. I will admit though,
I
he's
meant
louder.
there's just too many people
We
here.
all have big mouths.
There's a lot of big. Yeah, you got to be more specific on big mouth. We got a lot of big mouths.
Easily could have
here.
been me or Ben.
True.
It's true.
Also.
Well, Yeah, true.
The entirety of our Newegg
A lot of
social media.
I assume they mean Ethan.
A lot of very loud, confident dudes here.
Hey, I accept.
I wouldn't necessarily call you loud.
You wouldn't call me loud?
No, but only because you can't get a word in edgewise. Oh,
that's not.
If I was
true.
comparing to me, if I was saying comparing to me and Ethan, I'd probably like Ethan by far. You can always tell where Ethan is, and you can almost always tell where I am.
That's true.
It's true.
It's like, and there's Ethan, and he could be
someone's
the-
shouting about bananas
Ethan,
or something.
Well, it's probably me. I was shouting about bananas in our previous one.
And Reginald Mousy, we answered that yesterday. You do you, boo. Me, I'm assuming this is so. Yeah, CJ Too Famous. You just got your Asus Mama board. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Heck
Tell
yeah.
us which one you got. That's awesome. Did you? When you say you just got it, did you just get it right here, right now, or did it just arrived? No.
Right. You're the one that said it. You were literally the one that said it. You said it. You brought it on. That's your fault. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That's her favorite song, by the way. If you couldn't tell, guys.
I know. Lies.
Have her read it constantly.
Why are you full of lies? And I hate all of you. That's not true. You're gonna boil our Newegg's. I hope you devil them. Hey, we're gonna kick this off with the Asus Prime Z690p Wi-Fi D4 Mama board. Ooh. My brain said it, but the mouth didn't. Okay. It's the song that I'm trying not to sing, but it's all his fault. So, this Asus Prime Z690p Wi-Fi D4 Mama board has an Intel LGA 1700 socket ready for the 12th and 13th gen Intel processors. Supports DDR4 RAM at 5300 megahertz overclocked with expansion slots of 1 PCIe 5.0 by 16. And remember, you're going to want to start keeping an eye out for those Mama boards with 5.0 because coming down the pike here toward the end of the year, starting next year, more tech's going to be coming out needing that 5.0. So if you want to upgrade and future-proof yourself for a while, make sure your stuff's got that 5.0 PCIe. And this one also has PCIe 4.0 by 16, one PCIe 3.0 by 16, by 16, and one PCIe 3. Wow, that's confusing. It says two PCIe 3.0 by 16 and one PCIe 3.0 by. So you either get 2 or 3 3.0 by 16. So we want to check that real fast. For M.2 slots, this has has 3 PCIe 4.0 M.2 slots. For the back I/O, you've got 3 USB 3.2 Type A ports, 1 USB 3.2 Type C port, and 2 USB 2.0 ports. Right now, this Asus Prime Z690p Mama board is $70 off, making it $149.99. Only right here on Newegg Live for our Asus takeover. And we can only guarantee these deals until midnight, so check them out in that TikTok shopping cart right there and do not miss out on them.
Only gotta say Asus takeover once in the chat, y'all. Don't need to spam it. No need. You say it once, we got you.
We got you, I promise. Yeah, IDK. Listen, you spam the chat, you get booted. No sweater for you. That's the truth. Do. We warned you. Don't mind us. Who is Victor? I don't even know who Victor is. Victor. Victor.
I don't know. I don't personally know Victor. You'll need to specify.
I knew one growing up. Hey, thanks for hopping in that shopping cart. Appreciate it. Are we gonna restock the RX86 Asus Eagle? Very possibly. The best way to find out is to go over onto that page, put in your email, and when those come back in stock, we'll shoot you an email, so you get to be the first to know. We bought the Asus Chrome back in Christmas. Matthew Baldwin, awesome. I hope that's working out really well for you. I should bring Jason some cat ears.
You're gonna lose them in my hair.
It'll be just like a little peek.
You'll
be like a Scottish fold.
I'm good. I appreciate it. I'm good. I'll pass.
You need a 10th gen Mama board with a case. I mean, I'm sure we
got them. You go check them out. I mean,
I'm like, wait, am I confusing the 10th gen with like Windows 10 or?
What do you mean by 10th gen? I don't know what 10th gen means. You mean by 10th gen?
That's why I was like, wait.
We got motherboards and we got cases.
Because here's the thing, we definitely have 6th gen and 7th gen if you're talking about like 690s and 790s. But if
are you talking about an Intel core? I haven't seen 10th gen Intel cores. All
right, I'm gonna keep a rolling here if you want to take over the next mama.
The next mama we got is the Asus ROG Maximus Z690 Hero Wi-Fi.
That's the thing that dropped and not the mama.
No kidding.
I'm gonna hand this to you so I can grab it though.
Got you, sure. It comes with an Intel LGA 1700 socket. It's ready for 12th and 13th gen Intel Core processor, comes ready with those. Supports a DDR5 RAM at 6400 megahertz. OC. Overclocked, thank you. Expansion slots of 2 PCIe 5.0 by 16 slots and 1 PCIe 4.0 by 16. M.2 slots, 2 PCIe 4.0 M.2 slots, and 1 PCIe 3.0 M.2 slots. Back I/O 6 USB 3.2 Type A ports, 2 Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports, and 2 USB 2.0 ports. Do I have all in there?
It's a lot of ported. Oh wow! Look at that deal.
It's shiny. And now you have $209 off for a steal value at $390.99. That's
why I'm like, oh, for.
You don't need to see the back of it. I'm just doing back.
It's just a lot. It's a lot of stabby bits.
How is that on there?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that is an insane deal from Asus. Thank you so much. Yeah, just again to point out. Supports the DDR5 RAM, and once more, it's got the PCIe 5.0. We're going to see that a lot more. So you want to get on those deals before, one, either they sell out, or two, people are going to start catching on, and those prices are going to go way back up. So with this Z690 Hero from Asus ROG, at $209 off today, making it $390. That's 49. Oh, even more. It's 349.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, let's change that.
I lied to you. Sorry about that. Another 45 off then.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Let me make sure.
Yeah, let's make sure. So normally this is a $500 Mobo. We're going to see real quick if it's half off.
No. It's $398.
Okay, so it's $390.99. Hey, that's what happens with these deals is, you know, one time you see it once, one time you see it different, etc. Yeah, $390. But that's a massive deal, and you want to snag those before people start catching on to that 5.0s.
Mr. Samsung, you're gonna have to specify a name. I have no idea, and it'll probably be eventually.
Why is that the thing that everybody?
Yeah, that person will eventually be back. Yeah. Probably. I don't know.
It's a different song, but it's what I was doing in the green room.
I heard it
multiple times. It's also, I start doing it and then realize I'm doing it.
That's how it be.
Hey, thanks for checking out that shopping cart. Make sure you're doing that too, because we've got a whole bunch here during our Asus takeover, and you don't want to miss out on those deals. Isaiah, I'm anything 4090 with a 13th gen, you should absolutely
You're about to have the most incredible Roblox experience ever on that. So, yes. If you are a Roblox lover and you want it at the best possible way to play, I would recommend that.
I'm just saying. Oh man, I'm just every time. What
it's
can
like
you
waiting.
win?
You're doing waiting room music.
It is. My waiting room music is the Sip It Real. So what can you win? You can win. Shove the limited edition Asus ROG sweatshirt. It's real cozy, let me tell you. Yeah. Well, you're done. And it will be choosing our winner at around in about an hour and a half. So, and by the way, one, say Asus Takeover in the TikTok chat. You only have to say it once. If you spam, we will remove you and your name. And two, you have to physically be in the TikTok chat to win when we do our drawing. So make sure that you're here in about an hour and a half. And in the meantime, stick around because we've got tons of deals to go over. And if you want a sneak peek on what we're talking about, head on down into that TikTok shopping cart right there.
And Adam, we do sell PCs. Check them out in the Newegg shop.
We've got plenty of PCs
Adam,
to go around.
If you had the chance to win a PC, then we wouldn't have sold it. So
I like that answer. Listen, I like a sweater to wear in cold weather. Listen, have you ever stepped into a movie theater in the middle of summer? They crank it to like 50. It's so cold.
Icebox.
Air conditioning, like it's as if we don't know how to be warm. It's just, oh no, it's too hot. Let's make it winter everywhere always. And then we get mad at winter. It's very funny. I just like never bother putting my sweaters away.
Everything besides winter and fall and early spring is terrible.
Only
I agree.
I'm a soggy bottom boy.
Swamp cheeks all day.
Delicious. And KCMO Josh, listen, let me know if you find a PC you can't play RuneScape on. That would be more interesting. You let me know if you find one past the 80s.
I just picked up an IBM Selectric. It comes with RuneScape.
Amazing.
The newest edition.
See?
Wow.
No, that's not.
I was like, well, fine.
I've never played RuneScape. I've seen it, never played it. And I'm a huge MMORPG guy. Never played it.
Hi, Lily fan. How's it going?
I'm almost positive a hamster and a wheel could run RuneScape.
This is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
you find me a PC that can't, and I will be impressed. How do you participate? Xandert asked. You type Asus Takeover in that TikTok shop, in that TikTok chat right there. You type it in once and only once. You spam the chat, you get removed, and then you have to be here in about an hour and 28 minutes when we will be choosing all winner. I remember I get like 90% of my way.
Well, we're both achieving that today, and I even started on that one. And if you're looking to play RuneScape, a motherboard that will for sure handle it just fine is the Asus ROG Strix Z790H Gaming Wi-Fi Mama board.
Mama!
Boom. This one right here. Perfect. You can hit the product for me. Thank you. Intel comes with an Intel LGA 1700 socket and supports 12th and 13th gen Intel processors. All right, there we are. Supports DDR5 RAM at 7800 megahertz. Overclocked. Overclocked past tense or present tense?
Overclock.
Okay, just present tense. Expansion slots for one PCIe 5.0 by 16 slot. Okay, I was like, I'm pretty sure I said it right.
We don't need to conjugate this. This is
all right, just making sure. My mom came into my head and said, you better get that tense right. One PCIe 4.0 by 16 slot and one PCIe 3.0 by 1 slot. M.2 slots, 4 PCIe 4.0 M.2 slots. Back I/O, 6 USB 3.2 Type A ports and 2 USB 3.2 Type C ports, and 2 USB 2.0 ports. This motherboard comes in at $20 off at $279.99 for the best RuneScape experience you will have, if that's what you're looking to do. Because that's what we're on RuneScape, so I just kept it going.
I've just been really enjoying people's comments on how other ways to play RuneScape. Eric's like, I play RuneScape and connect to servers on a Spiral notebook.
Basically.
And Cinezok, best bang for your buck Asus GPU right now. We've got a whole bunch of them over here. You're over on Twitch. If you want to check out those deals, you got to be over here on TikTok. And that's also where you're gonna have the winning edition, limited edition of the Asus ROG sweatshirt. So we've got all sorts of stuff. We're actually gonna be talking about one right here, right now. I'm so mad about this in my brain.
Actually, I would probably say this might be the best bang for the buck.
Yeah, you know what? You ask and you shall receive. This is the Asus TUF Gaming GeForce RTX 4060 Ti overclocking edition gaming graphics card. Do you want me to punch
I flexed when we said tough, and then I said, ah.
Ow.
I strained my deltoid. That hurt.
I'm built normal. This is probably the best bang for your buck right now. This is because you know what? It is, I'm looking at this right now. This 4060 Ti GPU is less than the 3070 Ti. So if this fits in your build, this is a better bang for your buck right now. It's 8 gigabytes, 128-bit GDDR6 with 4,352 CUDA. There you go. CUDA cores with core clock speeds of 2,625 megahertz. 1 HDMI 2.1 and 3 DisplayPort 1.4 with a PCIe 4.0. Right now it is $40 off during this Asus takeover, making it $419.99. And yes, so you asked what the best bang for your buck is? That's it right there. Let me just double check real quick because I'm pretty sure. Yeah. That's it right there. So check that out right there in the TikTok shopping cart. That's where you're gonna find that 4060 Ti by Asus. And it's on that super deal, so you don't want to miss out. We can only guarantee that deal till midnight today.
And Mark, I've been a content creator my whole life also. I've pretty much in the last year been PC. I had a laptop years ago that I gamed on, like 10 years ago, but it unfortunately black screened, and then I went back to just being a console gamer. And then after I've gotten a desktop recently, and Ethan, who you all know, my brother, has helped me build it, game changer. I'm pretty much back solely on PC, and I only play console when my friends are like, yo, I want to game together, and they don't have a PC, so then I hop on my PlayStation. Otherwise, it's PC all day.
PlayStation. It's the only way I can say it. PlayStation.
And then I imagine the little sound it used to make.
It's time to hydrate or dihydrate because I've been shouting.
stuck on the Roblox.
Yeah, everybody's stuck on the roadblocks. That's what happens when you stuck on a roadblock.
And that's tough. Like the Asus Tough gaming NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 Ti overclocked V2 graphics card. Do we have that one in here? Oh, okay, it's up there. Perfect. My eyes just decided to not see what's directly in front of me.
Come on, eyes.
Oh, man. Comes with 8 gigabyte, 256-bit GGDRX. 6,144.
That's definitely a typo. It's GDDR6X.
6X. Or I just can't read.
GG. No, it says GG. That's not what it means.
Yeah, GDDR. Good for some good gaming.
Not the X.
That's what the GG is.
It is the X. No, it's the GG.
Instead of GDDR, it's GG, yeah. GDDR6X. 6,144 CUDA cores. Boost clock.
Blame you anyway.
A boost clock at 1,815 megahertz, 2 HDMI 2.1 and 3 display ports 1.4, PCIe 4.0, coming in at $499.99 for the Asus Tough Gaming NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 Ti.
So, and yeah, the 30 series are still really great, and if that's what you're looking for right now, that's not going to bottleneck your system, that's a great deal. But if your system can take it, this is what we were saying earlier. We're also looking, we were just talking about the 4060 Ti, the next level gaming right there, and so the 3070 Ti, $499.99. That 4060 Ti is $419.99. So you're saving $80 there.
Yep.
For a level up of your equipment and your components. So if it's not going to bottleneck your system and you're looking for a new GPU, you asked for the best bang.
And they're both
There's
tough.
your buck right there, and they're both tough. We love Asus. That's the whole point of Asus. I'm actually currently looking at their Asus laptop right now to get a new one because mine bit the dust yesterday. And after doing a lot of research and stuff like that and getting Ethan's input, I'm looking at that Asus Tough right now because they're built tough. They live up to their name. It's gonna stick around for a while, and they're a great price point, and all of those are very important to me. So what exactly is being won? We've actually got the limited edition Asus ROG sweatshirt. They're real cozy. They're real fun. Oh, we've got one right here. Yeah, the best thing about it is really what's on the back. So it's a sneak attack. So show them the front first.
Show them the front.
Yeah. Look, unassuming, just a nice sweatshirt, and then turn around and bam, art. This is real cool. Can we throw the product cam off?
I was gonna just run to the camera.
Yeah, 1 second.
Every time I do that though, it doesn't focus.
Oh, fair, true.
So yeah, this is really cool. Here's my favorite thing. Is this? Look at our little robot girl.
Oh, I don't even have it all the way in. There we go.
Look at the little.
I missed it. And it's on an angle, so I'm trying to.
It is. You're doing great. And for those.
There we go. Oh my gosh, we got it. All right, we're in.
DIY Republic of Gamer. Like this is such a fun. It's such fun art. Fits in with everything that they stand for. It's cute, it's fun, it's real cozy, and it's perfect.
Full cam?
Yeah, full cam, please. It's gonna be perfect, especially in the summer when they're blasting that AC everywhere. Wired or wireless keyboard recommendations. I believe we have a few in the TikTok shop right there. If not, you can head over to our main site /live, and I know we had a couple of really great, really great backlit RGB wireless ones.
Yeah, I mean, wireless is sort of gonna depend on what you do.
Yeah, what you need.
The argument for any like gaming is you're gonna get faster response time off something wired in. That's just in general. Same with like a controller.
Yeah, if you don't.
But there are some really fast wireless keyboards and controllers as well.
Yeah, but like if you don't need to move your setup.
Yeah.
If you're not on a laptop, then you probably might as well just go with a wired.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you
might as well
don't,
go wired.
Unless you want to like walk away with your keyboard and work from far away, but that's, I mean.
Like, what are you, a hacker? You hacking? You
Listen.
hacking and skating? You jump on your
you.
little skateboard and then you hack?
Just hack while you're on your Segway, you know?
You can't.
Or hoverboard.
You can't be a hacker on a Segway.
Why not? You don't know.
It's not cool enough.
That's the coolest.
That's what we were
We
literally
bring
talking
back
about this
Segways
earlier.
because hoverboards are literally just a Segway now without the handlebars.
People still use hoverboards?
I
What do
see,
you mean,
yeah.
What do you mean still use
Why are they called
hoverboards?
hoverboards though? It's not even a board. There's nothing. It annoyed me, honestly, when they were called hoverboards. I got so mad.
Somebody really, really wanted the future from Back to the Future. Yeah. And they were like, we don't have hoverboards yet. We're going to have them. They don't hover, but we're calling them that.
This wiener with wheels a hoverboard. I was like, all right.
This wiener with wheels.
Cool.
Hey, Robot 2500. I'm sorry. I'm just seeing you built one of those earlier today. Which one did you build? Let us know. I'm sorry I missed it. Let's see, I answered what's being one. We talked about the awesome sweater. 47 Ti, absolutely. You wanted the Asus, but you never find one, so you have to choose something else. Wait, no, we've got Asus GPUs up the wazoo. That's what we're talking about right now. In fact, we can take over right here, right now. This is the Asus ROG Strix NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 Ti Overclock Edition with gaming graphics card. This is our lovely GPU. That one right there. Look how cool that looks. That's not is that RGB or is that just the design? I'm curious.
Sure, I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, it's either the design or the RGB. In which case,
both.
I mean, both are cool, especially if you can change those colors. But I'm all about the red and blue.
Looks clear on there.
Sorry. Oh man, so many people are saying.
I was looking at the color there. It looks clearer there than on there. I can't tell. Yeah, it almost looks like the design versus the RGB.
I think it's RGB.
Yeah.
Great. That's dope.
That's super cool. And yeah, this is a lovely router. Trust me, we'll get to it. If you're curious though, it's the ROG 1600, and you can find that in that TikTok shopping cart. But this one that you're looking at right above me is the 4070 Ti Overclock Edition GPU. It's got 12 gigabyte 162-bit GDDR6X with 192. What did I say? 162. Listen, I just switch it over. 192.
Hey.
Nice. 7,680 CUDA. With CUDA cores. I should probably finish that sentence. With core clock speeds of 2,310 megahertz. Boost clock speeds of 2,790 megahertz with 2 HDMI 2.1 and 3 DisplayPort 1.4a with PCIe 4.0 slot, and then right now it is $989.99. You can find that right there in the TikTok shopping cart. And the main difference between the first one that we were talking about, the second, the Asus TUF are their like lower end, high quality, affordable line. Their ROG is the top line. So if you want the tip-top applesauce right there, that's what that ROG is, Republic of Gamers. And that one right now is $989.99. You can find that right there, that TikTok shopping cart, during our Asus takeover.
I don't know why, but your tip-top now got a song stuck in my head, and it's a song that I've never cared for.
Tip-top on the
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Which
you
is
said
funny.
tip-top, and I went to TikTok on the clock, and I was like, damn it.
I appreciate,
dang it, darn it.
I appreciate that tip-top is the thing that got TikTok stuck in
Yeah,
your
well,
head.
we're on TikTok. I don't know. It was the way you said it.
The tip-top.
Exactly, because you said it in the same way.
And you know what? Every time I say it, I probably am like unintentionally quoting it, which is usually why I do like the tip-top applesauce. It doesn't make any sense. It's just the only thing. Tick-tock on the clock, so it's tip-top applesauce.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
How much does it cost to build my first PC? It depends on how high ends you want to build or low end you want to build your PC and what your budget is. That's going to completely depend on what you're willing to spend.
Yeah, it depends on all of the components, what you want it for, how you want to build it, what size build you want to do, et cetera, et cetera. That number is a drastic difference.
And if that's overwhelming to you, there are very affordable and discounted pre-builds we have that you can look at in the TikTok shop as well.
Also, if you have a general idea of my brain said schematics, that's incorrect. Because we were talking about heists earlier. Specs, thank you. If you have a general idea of what kind of specs that you're looking for, you can go over onto our website on our PC builder and type those in, and then you can find stuff within all of that, and then kind of like pre-build your PC on our website there. You're gonna be buying the graphics card from us, yes.
Nice.
And Dylan, which one are you gonna get? I'm really curious because we've talked about 3 of them so far, and I'm curious to see which one you're getting. And remember, hopefully you're getting it right now while they're on that super deal. I'm gonna keep scrolling. If you want to take over this case.
So we have another tough. It's a tough case. The Asus TUF Gaming GT501 White Edition Mid-Tower Computer Case. Comes with fan options, front and top of case. This one right here, this is a beautiful case.
Oh, ooh.
It's got a hybrid
I don't
black
think
and
I've seen
white
that
color.
one yet.
That one looks like makes you think of Transformers. It looks sick.
See,
front
and I
and
think
top of
Stormtrooper.
case. Stormtrooper. Oh, yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah,
Well, because they're either all white or like all black. You
Yep.
know? It can fit up to 3 120 millimeter fans or 2 140 millimeter fans. Has radiator options. Front and top of case can fit up to a 360 millimeter radiator. Front I/O, 2 USB 3.1 Type A ports, a microphone jack, and headphone jack. It is $40 off right now for $149.99. That's a sick case.
It truly is. It's really cool looking. I don't think I've seen that one yet.
Me neither.
And Janko, you would like to use it for gaming programming with a $3,800 budget.
You can build a pretty nice PC, is all I'm gonna say.
My human, you can.
You can build a really nice PC for that.
Start with a 4090 GPU.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, if that's your budget.
And maybe do the Asus Z790, and then just go from there. Yeah, start with the top of what you can go with.
You could probably get top of the line stuff.
You can build a high. Yeah, if you're
Across
buying
the
all your own
board.
parts, you can build a high-end PC for that.
Yeah, seriously.
Very high end.
So those are the two things I would start with, and then go from there.
That's what high end pre-builts go for.
Yeah,
Pretty
exactly.
much, yeah.
And pre-builts are going to be more expensive
because the labor is already done for you.
Yep.
So I would
Blake,
say build the Swordfish computer. The computer that's in the movie Swordfish.
Oh, okay. Weirdly, that was where I went, and I didn't think that's where you.
Haven't seen that movie, so I had no idea what you're talking about.
Awesome.
Ah.
He's got like 7 screens.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And seemingly that's it.
Not only that, with that kind of thing, you can get some pretty high-end monitors to go with all of that.
You're gonna have an amazing setup and experience.
Thanks for the kitty paws. Kitty paws. Eric said
all right, guys,
kitty
let's
paws.
keep our races out of the chat, please.
Oh hey, let's not. Yeah. Red Dead 1 remastered.
What?
I'm pressing buttons that I shouldn't be.
I wanted to read it. I was curious what it said.
Come with and are they all RGB? Which tough case? Was it the one we were just talking about?
Is that the only tough case? I think it's the only tough case we've gone over so far.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
There might because
there
we've
is
got
another one coming
one.
up. Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking, because if you checked in the shopping cart, we've got a couple of Asus tough cases right now. What does it come with? It's just telling me right here what it can fit. Steve, if you want to check on that.
What it comes with, like what's
already in there.
installed?
How many fans does the tough case come with already?
The one we just went over?
I think so. And are they RGB? I would assume so. Based on what we just saw, I would assume, because it looked like there was some blue in there.
Yeah.
But he's gonna check on that for you. Would pre-built be the way to go, being that you have no idea how to build it? My answer is no, Janko. Especially if your budget is $3,800 and you don't know what you're doing. What I personally would do with that kind of budget is I would just get like the highest end pre-built that's available. And then when the time comes to start leveling up your equipment, then instead of going out and buying a new pre-build, you can start learning how to build in increments of like, well, I want to replace, like, I want to get a new GPU, I want to get a new CPU, I want to get some new fans, and like piecemeal leveling up until you got it to the point where like no amount of leveling up is going to help you from bottlenecking anymore. But that's just me personally. The other way of doing it, I kind of consider it Legos you get to play with later, like once you're done. So it depends. You know, there's lots of YouTube.
I was gonna say
tutorials.
YouTube University's got a lot of tutorials.
Absolutely.
I know for me it was getting a pre-built first and then slowly replacing things. Something you can do as well if you don't want to buy the pre-built and you want to put it all together yourself, but you're not sure how to start. You can look at the specs of pre-builds and then just copy those into PC Builder and then look at how much it'll cost in comparison to what the pre-build is and then you putting it together. So you'll do the labor, and because that's a lot of times why the pre-builds cost so much more. So yeah, copy the specs of a pre-build. That's a higher end one and see how much it costs that fits your budget. And then you can look up videos on how to install it yourself and set that up as well.
So yeah, it depends on, do you like building Legos? Would you like to build Legos you can play with afterward? And is that something you want to put your time and effort into? Because if the answer is you get frustrated by puzzles, that's not going to be the time for you.
Well, and also great knowledge. Once you do put it together, then everything will click in after that. You're like, okay, I know where this goes.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling on me, sir.
We both did. The funny thing is we both did.
Right back at you, Steve!
The GT501 comes with 4 fans pre-installed, 3 120s, Aura RGB in the front, and one 140 in the rear.
Okay. So yeah,
4 total
there you go.
fans?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they do have
140,
RGB.
140.
The front do, the
front
rear doesn't. I don't think.
There you go. And D, hold on. It just says D on there, but Dapper, you bought your PC at Newegg, the best PC you've ever used. Thank you so much. Let us know in the chat what you got. I'm excited. I love hearing that kind of thing. How do you know if the graphics card will fit your PC? Knowing the other components, and then it really helps to go onto our website and use our PC builder. So if you type in the components there, it will tell you what.
Also, I mean, asking around.
I mean, yes.
Checking online, you know,
Reddit,
that's
like
invaluable. If you can get a hold of Ethan,
I feel like that's throwing him under the bus.
If you work with Ethan,
oh yeah, you can ask him a million questions.
Yeah,
because then it's free.
Or you can always come into our chat.
Yeah.
Our chat, our conversations here in chat. We've got so many great, intelligent people here. So like, because we're on a chat delay, we're trying to tell you everything. Sometimes we miss what's going on, but we've got some amazing folks in our chat rooms all of the time. That if you have questions, they're more than happy to talk to you about that. And that's such a great community.
Shout out Dude Dad. Shout out Matt John.
Matt John. Yeah.
Shout out I'm blanking.
We've got Newt, Eric.
Epic Eric.
You need a white 3090 who's got one on the low. Well, we had, what was it, the 37?
Look in the shop and see what you find.
Yeah. But speaking of, we've got an Asus Tough Gaming GT502 white ATX mid-tower computer case. Is that the one? That's not the one. Okay, great.
There it is.
I was like, I want to make sure.
That is white. Nice.
Just
that is, you got a snow case there.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Snow case. For fan options, the top and right of the case can fit 2 140mm fans or 320mm fans. The side and bottom of the case can fit 3 120mm fans. The top and right radiator, for radiator options, the top and right and side of the case, can fit up to a 360mm radiator. And for the front I/O, you've got 2 USB 3.2 Type A ports, 1 USB 3.2 Type C port, a headphone jack, and microphone jack. It's $30 off right now. I love this case. It's going to come back up here in black in just a second. You'll see it even better. But although it's a mid-tower case, I kind of like it's like wide and squat, so it just reminds me of a corgi. It looks like a little corgi case. A little corgi butt. Listen, I gotta associate with
that. Is a comparison right there.
Isn't it cute? Like once I say it, everyone's like,
I mean,
yeah, kind of.
Now you want to put a corgi sticker on the front and back of it.
Absolutely. Anyway, this case right now is $30 off, which makes it $144.99. You can find that right there in the TikTok shop, and that's where you're gonna find that deal that you don't want to miss out on. Speaking of what's going on, Chatty Vic Chowderson. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no comment. I'll let it happen.
No comment. When is the drawing for the Asus takeover? It's going to be about an hour and 6 minutes. So you've got to be here to win this awesome sweater. Look, I love the art back here. It's so much fun. So that's when you're gonna have that, and make sure you're typing Asus takeover, but you're only typing it once in the TikTok shop.
Yeah, don't spam.
Do not spam. You will be removed. Sorry, we've got people on it. Trust me, if you've said it once, you are on the list.
Yes, Matt John, thank you. Yes, the PC part picker will let you know if the part is compatible or not. It will let you know very quickly. Get it out of there. It doesn't work.
Get it out of there. A lot of white edition cards. Yeah, we do. We also, they have both. They've got a good blend. In fact, if you want to take away this. Yeah,
because we got a black case too. We have the Asus Tough Gaming GT502 Black ATX Mid-Tower Computer Case. Has fan options top and right of case and can fit 2 140mm fans or 3 120mm fans. The side and bottom of case can fit 3 120mm fans. Radiator options, top right and side of case can fit up to a 360mm radiator. Front I/O, 2 USB 3.2 Type A ports and 1 USB 3.2 Type C port. Headphone jack and microphone jack. This case is $20 off, coming in at $149.99.
Let's see here. Who's I just read it a second ago.
So you want your white case, your black case, we got you covered.
And practically joking, don't worry, we appreciate that you explained that. There's a difference between like, oh, I went away and I came back, whoops, I'm sorry, I didn't know that it's already on the list, versus...
Oh yeah, you're covered. Versus just putting it in over and over and over again.
Yeah, don't do that. Peanut, Stop it.
We're people. We get it.
Yeah, no, you're completely justified on that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
It's gonna take more than 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, it's gonna be if you're one of those people that just keeps putting it in over and over and over and over again. Then we're gonna be like, all right.
We'll probably give out a warning.
Yeah.
And I hope, by the way, that your 3-year-old is entertained. Is that a robotic spider or a giant router? Por qué no los dos?
Why not both?
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Which do you think is scarier?
A what?
The giant
Scaleo.
spider.
A giant spider or...
Wowdo.
A spider.
Why
would a router
The way you
be
said
scary?
it, I was like, what are you talking about?
Scary.
What is scary about a router?
Do you know how it works? Because I don't.
Wi-Fi
That's
sucks,
frightening.
that's why.
I don't know how a lot of things work. That doesn't scare me.
If this was the,
I drive a car. I don't know how that works.
If this was the 1600s, that route would be.
Well, then that'd be terrifying. That's, yeah, true.
Yeah, it's the
But
unknown.
here's the thing: it's the 2020s, and spiders still terrify me. So
I actually could use more spiders in my house because we've got so many flies.
you can have all of mine. Okay, thanks. I had to put my cat on top of a spider. I was just like, it's right. It's.
Oh,
it's
so your
not
cat
even
can kill
small.
it?
It wasn't. It was like a big spider, and I was like, it's right there. You're asking to be played with. There's a thing right there, and she just kept looking at it, being like.
Hi, Christian on Facebook. Video's so small. Come on TikTok. Join us on TikTok,
join us on
Gowan.
TikTok. That's where we're gonna. Some lovely winner in about an hour and 2 minutes is going to get the limited edition Asus ROG sweatshirt. And so you've got to physically be here. You've got to be in the TikTok chat.
You don't have. Please don't physically be.
Like physically be in the chat.
No, physically.
Yeah, if you're not there when we call the name.
I would very much allow you to all be in. To be here in spirit, but be in the chat.
In the chat.
Literally. Please don't come up to
They got very literal.
So quick. Oh, look at the King Heart. Let's see. What's going on?
Throw it in the river.
If it sinks, it's not a witch. Solid logic. Thank you, Matt John. It's a witch. Man hug. Playing Mega Vlogs, but he thought it was a YouTube short. Oh, so you joined. That's fair. That's fair. Hey, thanks for the roses.
Someone asked earlier about a liquid cooler, and right now we do have the Asus ROG Strix LC 2 White Edition AIO all-in-one liquid CPU cooler. I feel like this is the first one I've come across too. The 360mm radiator with 3 120mm fans, compatible with Intel LGA 1700 by 1200 and AMD AM4 sockets, fan speeds of 800 to 2500 RPM, fan noise 37.6 decibels, addressable RGB, $10 off at $179.99. And Smokey the Fox, also welcome back, hello. And you were finally able to get your GPU yesterday, which I know you were on the fence on which one. Which one did you end up deciding on? That's very fun. And hey, again, make sure you're typing Asus Takeover in the chat just once, and that you're checking out everything in that TikTok shopping bag, because that's where all the deals and steals are. If you don't see the number that we've said out loud, if it looks different on TikTok, just put it in your cart and head over your cart. You'll see the difference there. And that's how you're gonna find all the deals and steals for today. We're very excited to have our Asus Takeover. Hey. Is that a boombox? I'm gonna call it a boom. Thanks, Sanity. Sanity's sending all sorts of fun stuff. I love it. I'm here for it. You need a white GPU in your life? Pretty sure. White
GPU? Wait. I'm trying to think for a second. It's been a hot minute since I saw a white one.
GPU?
Yeah.
I think Asus has one.
Asus definitely, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I feel like the last one I saw was Asus, but like I have it like physically in my hand. But if you're looking for all white builds, we do have the Asus ROG I want to say Ryu, but it's RYUO. Ryu. RYUO 3 white edition, all-in-one liquid CPU cooler. This one's 2, not 3, but it's a 240mm radiator with two 120mm fans. It's compatible with Intel LGA 1700 and 1200 and AMD 4 and AMD 5 sockets with fan speeds of 2200 RPMs and a fan noise of 36.45 decibels, addressable RGB, so you can change that up. It's $40 right now, making it $209.99 right here on our Newegg Live Asus takeover. So
ASUS.
you can find that right there in that TikTok shopping cart. And by the way, we can only guarantee these deals until midnight. That's what our ASUS takeover is all about. So if you're looking at these going, yes, I want the thing. Trust me, you're gonna want to get the thing while it's on that deal. White edition, I'll swoon.
Give me a free PC. Give me one first.
Yeah. Tit for tat, you know? You got the ASUS TUF Gaming NVIDIA GeForce 3080 Ti Overclock Edition. That's awesome. That's awesome, Prince Vicky.
That's dope.
Prince Vic, sorry. Where I had this on the thing.
Yeah, they kind of look like, yeah.
Yeah,
look
there
like
was the N was of our Newegg was right on your name. That's you got the Gigabyte Aero GeForce. You got the 4070 Ti. Yes.
Oh man.
I'm proud. I'm happy for you.
About to enjoy that experience.
Yes. Which is white. Okay, see, there we go. What's the giant router in front? Don't worry, you didn't miss anything, Blake.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it, and if you want a sneak peek at what this router is, one is the ROG GT Axe 16000, but you can see more about it right there in that TikTok shopping cart. That's where you're gonna see way more about this. It looks like a Game of Thrones crown. Like that's what it looks like to me, which means it's a beast. It's gonna have all the power. Speaking of all the power, we've got the ASUS ROG Thor 1000 watt PSU. This is the 1000 watt power supply, full modular, 80 plus platinum certified. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, baby.
That's a big boy.
That's a big Thor right there. But not a little Thor. I'm a little Thor. It's $50 off right now, making it $309.99. It's right there in that TikTok shopping cart. Actually, to be fair, what I should have said is this is the 1000 watt PSU, so it's the big Thor. This is the 850 watt. It's a little Thor.
The littler.
The little Thor.
The not as big Thor.
This is Frog Thor.
Right.
And this is
Thunder Toad Thor.
So there's Thunder Toad Thor. There's the one. So Thor becomes a frog, or a frog becomes Thor. I don't know. It's weird. But
that like actually happens.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. There's alligator Loki, so.
It's true. And then there's like this weird. It's like a horse kind of like space alien who also becomes
that
Thor.
one I'm aware. I forget his name. That one I do know.
It's like
the weird robo horse thing.
B,
someone with a B.
Something.
Someone will know in chat.
Yeah. I don't know why it's with bees, but the construction of the name reminds me of Mads Mikkelsen, and I don't know why. But it's sort of like that, but with bees. Anyway,
I love Reaper as long as it's not from the last season of Game of Thrones. Correct. Took a bit to figure out why the store card didn't work. You did figure it out though, right, Smokey? That's the medium Thor at 1K. There is a large boy. That's fair.
Boy?
There's a bigger Thor? I'm sure there is. It's just the ones that we have on deal right here, right now.
Name. I'll try to find the name. Can't find it.
You'll discover it when you're not trying to think about it.
Yeah.
It'll be like the drive home. You'll be
like
it's
two words.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the little Thor right here. A little Thor right here. This is the ASUS ROG Thor 850 watt PSU. No, I has it right here.
Wow.
It's 850 watt power supply, fully modular with 80 plus platinum certified. Got it. And right now, so this 80 plus platinum certified ASUS ROG Thor 850 watt PSU is $50 off, making it $199.99. So if you need all that power, we got it right here. A little Thor. Keep it on up. Is it RGB or just B? I don't know. I feel like this is just T.
What if it's just RG?
What if it's ROG?
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome. It changed the address to have the apartment number for. Oh, that's annoying. I'm sorry. To have the apartment number first. That would confuse everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that kid gets in the head with the basketball and goes, yeah.
So pretty to put in my PC's basement. That's. When I first started reading it, I was picturing like the bottom of your computer case, and then I read out loud and I went, just kidding. It is Argaba. Argaba. I don't know. It depends. Are you a GIF or a GIF man?
I'm a GIF guy. That's all I've been saying. But then the guy that made it, like that literally created it, said
Whatever.
it's GIF.
But that doesn't make any
like,
sense.
But it's graphics, not graphics.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
People have made things that have called it the wrong thing.
Correct.
Yeah, because you're wrong.
For example, the Spanish created tapas, but to call it that is ridiculous. It's tapas.
Oh, thank you. I was like,
I thought you were going tape-ass with it, and I was like,
why would I do that? This is a sponsored stream.
Because of the IT crowd.
I tried my best to get into that show.
That's fair.
I think I need to give it another run.
I love every second of that show, but I could actually understand why that wouldn't be your cup of tea.
I love all of those people.
Yeah, they're all amazing. I feel
just
like the older that show gets, the less that comedy hits home anymore.
what show are we talking about?
The IT crowd?
Oh, I thought we were literally talking about the IT crowd. No. See, completely.
Yeah, there was a British show in like the early mid 2000s.
Yeah.
That was very funny. It had like Richard Iowata and Chris. Chris O'Dowd.
Never saw it. Okay.
And also Matt. What's it from What We Do in the Shadows?
Okay.
Yeah, it was this amazing cast, and when it came out, it was very funny. It was funny for like the next decade or so. But now
so it had like seasons.
It had like 3.5 seasons.
Okay, then I really missed out.
But a British show saying 3.5 seasons, like that means it's eight episodes a season, sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a great show, but as our level of comedy ages, it feels older and older.
Got you.
When it's really not that old of a show. But that's okay, because we can keep up to date in our power situations with the Asus TUF Gaming 750 watts PSU. So we've had the 1000, we've had the 800, and now we have the Asus TUF 750 watt. It's 750 watts power supply, fully modular with 80 plus gold certified, ATX 3.0 and PCIe 5.0 compatible. And remember, you're going to want to keep an eye out for upcoming stuff with the PCIe 5.0, because later on this year and early next year is when that stuff's going to start being released. So you want to future-proof yourself a little bit if you're starting to get to level up with your technology. Keep an eye out for that kind of compatibility. It's $10 off right now, making it $129.99. You can find that right there in that TikTok shop. Does the TUF mean something? It truly 100% means tough. It is their tough built brand. So longevity, high powered, and a decent price. That's like their like mid range level price. Line. There it is. I got there.
The tough line.
You did it.
Yay!
They all come swole with extra protein. Or aminos.
Blow you away.
Yeah.
When you said extra protein, I thought you were gonna go like the Pro Art.
Oh, see? That would have been smart. I'm still getting used to these.
I know. You'll do it.
With a bunch of protein, like the Pro Art widescreen professional monitor. The Asus is the demonstration. Oh, perfect. That's this one. That's this one right here. That one with the people with the lady on it.
With the Devon.
Yeah. It's a 24-inch 1920 by 1200 WUXGA display, 16 by 10 aspect ratio, 75 hertz refresh rate, and a 5 millisecond response time. As adaptive sync, and the height, pivot, swivel, and tilt are adjustable. 1 display port, 1 HDMI, 1 D-sub, and 4 USB 3.2 Type A ports. It is $65 off, coming in at $224.99.
Yeah.
You can check it out in the TikTok shop below.
And by the way, this one and the next one that we're talking about monitor-wise make for really great second monitors. So not necessarily it's a 75 hertz refresh rate, so they're not necessarily made for like high-level gaming. But what they are going to be great for is if you are an editor of both video or any kind of photography. If you need a second monitor to run your OBS and have your chat up. If you just need like a solid work computer or monitor to have on the side there, this is the perfect thing. And I'm a big fan of having more than one monitor so that you've got one that's dedicated to looking up your YouTube.
Yep, this one has the YouTube videos, while this one is the whatever I'm focusing on.
Yes.
Whether it's to help me focus or help me
this
whatever
is where
I'm
the game
focusing,
is.
or if it's me just gaming and wanting something to click through on the side.
This one is the one I have spreadsheets on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like that.
One for
if you
fun,
like
one
Steve.
for work.
Yeah, some of us have a job to do.
Sucks to be you.
I'm working right now.
Working for the weekend.
Ridiculous.
So we talked about the one right behind us. We're also going to talk about the Asus Pro Art 24-inch professional monitor. And again, it's even in the name. This is the professional monitor. Great for Photoshop, for editing, for doing your Excel spreadsheets, apparently, Steve.
That's a legitimate purpose.
Steve. It's a perfect second monitor if you're a gamer, and it's a perfect professional monitor if you're an artist or just to have at work. It's 24 inches, 1920 by 1200 HDR display with a 16:10 by 10 aspect ratio, 75 hertz refresh rate, 5 millisecond response time, height adjustable. So again, if you are working and you are somebody who likes to sit and stand and sit and stand, so you're not stuck in one position all day long, which is better for you anyway. This has that ability with one USB-C DP alternative and 2 DisplayPort 1.4 and 2 HDMI 1.4. It's $30 off right now, making it $249.99.
You're not wrong. $24,999.
Yeah, that's kind of
like
that's exactly how
been
I
different.
$24,999. It's $249.99. It's right there in that TikTok shopping cart. But the next monitor is the one that I'm super interested in. But give me just a second, 'cause I want to see what's going on in the chat. What's going on? Also, I'm going to give this to you as a great compliment. Somebody says that childish Gambino.
If he grew a foot and became a little more attractive, then yeah, you got it.
Donald Glover is incredibly attractive.
Foot and a half. Well, yeah.
You don't think he's attractive?
I think we are about the same height.
Productivity, it's called. Yes, thank you, Namor. That's exactly.
5'7.5".
Under a foot.
Perfect monitor for a
9
marketing
inches.
job.
What are you, like?
I'm 6'3".
You 7'3", 7'5"?
7. I'm 7. Yes. The camera shrinks me. Yeah, I'm actually 87 inches tall.
Yes.
I wanted to make it more complicated.
What is that in millimeters?
In millimeters. I don't even know how many millimeters are in an inch.
Yeah. Listen, America was not taught the way the rest of the world measures things. I like Dominic. How did I just now notice the cat ears? They're a little
I think Harry's Googling it right now.
10 millimeters per centimeter.
Sure.
I already gave up on trying to figure it out. I was going to do math, and I was like, nah. Once we start adding decimals in there, I was like, man, it's done.
And Fuse Planet, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly because there was no good sounding way to pronounce that. Although our Newegg did answer that, we're going to answer it for everybody else. It is you can win the limited edition Asus ROG sweatshirt in a little over 45 minutes. So you don't want to miss out on that. Make sure that you are here in the chat when we do the big winning moment. And that's, you just got a look-see at what that fun little sweater there is.
Nice save.
Huh? A look-see? What?
No.
On the things?
Yep.
On the stuff and words and things?
Yes, on the stuff and words.
Vinny, 2 times, you bought the 160. Well done.
Cool. Nice.
I'm glad you found that.
Nice, Vinny.
Let's see here. Is it...
Your CPU sounds like a beast.
Yeah, you got
the
1,000 watts of
beast.
power supply. I'm proud of you.
You created Thor. We were talking about Thor. You created Thor with that.
Yeah. That's what you should call your PC, by the way. You should call it Thor because it's so powerful. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling. I'm trying to catch up with everybody chatting. I love it. Make sure you're saying the Asus takeover in that chat to be added to the potential winning at the end here. What's up, Wi-Fi? I like that.
What's up, fam?
Let's see here. What did I miss? Is back to the closest. Is on the back. That's closest. Okay, I'll get to it. Great. Time for some coffee.
I had 4 cups today.
Oh my
so.
god. Yeah, but they were tiny. When you say 4 cups, like you had.
Well, I mean, I don't have a small
ounce.
cup, but I also don't put in like a bunch of cream. I'd fill it up and I just shoot it.
But it's like 6 ounces.
Okay, so I had 2.5 cups. But in my cup, the cup the size I had, it was 1 cup, so it was 4 of those. 4.5-ish.
Okay.
You got the 40 terabytes.
40 terabytes.
Who are you hiding in there?
Did you really? Did you mean 40 terabytes?
You mean 4 terabytes?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
40 terabytes?
Yeah.
Yo, are you Brainiac? Who are you hacking, bro? Jeez Louise. Are you a black hat?
Yes, 40.
Yo, what are you doing with that 40 terabytes?
I also have this question.
That's damn.
He's Pinky and the Brain. I like that as a response. But I was really excited about this one right here because, as we know, for those of you who hang out on Newegg Live a lot, I have hooked my Xbox up to my television because I don't have a gaming monitor, and man, do I need one because the refresh rate and the response time on it is not made for gaming. In fact, it literally warns me every time I turn on a game. It's just like, hey.
It or no? It's plugged in. I wasn't sure if it was.
Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah, you're good. Every time I start a new game, it's just like, hey, by the way, you don't have this. This is not built for this. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. Just play it anyway. And they're like, it's going to be low graphics. I'm like, I understand. Just let me play with it. So this gorgeous Asus ROG Strix 27-inch EVA.
Yeah, I was just concerned because okay, I do have some.
Because
the really how much slack I had.
The really cool thing about this, we don't have it lit up. We should have it lit. Yeah. So among all the other cool things about this piece right there lights up with different RGB. We're gonna have our Chief Steve Pineapple Band over here turn that on. In the meantime, I'll talk about it, and you'll see it later. It's the 27-inch 2560 by 1440 display.
Actually, I don't know how to do it, so let's just run.
Yeah, that's fair. But you can still pull it up in a second.
Yeah, it's RGB.
Yeah. So the back of it has some really cool RGB, and there are people.
Would be right.
Yeah, the logo right here lights up any color you want it to light up. And people ask, well, why would you want RGB on the back of your monitor? The thing is, when you have it up against a wall, it's going to bounce off the wall and reflect. So you actually have this really cool customizable RGB backlighting to this amazing monitor. And here's why I'm sitting here going, this is so amazing. It's 270 hertz refresh rate, so it's gonna keep up with literally any kind of game that you want to play right now. With all of those beautiful, beautiful graphics. And not only that, it's got a 0.5 millisecond response time. So it's fast. You're not going to have those glitching issues that I have all the time.
Also, big flex. Oh, look at that. That's a flex.
Isn't that cool?
Looks cool. What a big flex.
It's so cool. It's also G-Sync compatible. It's got two DisplayPort 1.4 and two HDMI 2.0 ports. Right now, it's $200 off, making it $599.99. This is an $800 monitor. For $600 right now, and I can't express enough that backlighting is so cool. The refresh rate is so high. The response time is so fast.
Yeah.
It's a
the first
perfect
0.5
monitor.
one I've seen today.
Yeah,
0.5 response time is wicked.
It's
for gaming.
insane. Yeah.
I would create such spreadsheets on that monitor.
So fast.
My pivot tables, you wouldn't even be able to see them turn. That's how fast they'd pivot.
You heard it here first.
The lookups, immediate.
Instant.
Wow. I'm drooling over the idea of your amazing Excel spreadsheets already.
I could take accountability of the whole world with that monitor.
Aces take over one time, guys. Do it more than once. You may get removed from the chat for spam. Let you know right now before it happens.
Warn you right now.
Put it in once.
But hey, if you're like me and you're like, God, I want that gaming monitor so bad, and you want it on that deal, it's going to be right there in that TikTok shopping cart. And don't miss out because, again, those deals only last till midnight. And the easiest way to find them after we're not on live anymore is to go to our website and /live. But then you got to hunt for things. Right now, all of the Asus stuff that we're talking about is right there. So you want to get it right now, especially because other people may snag it. You know, I've seen stuff sell out on the live all the time. Let's see here. What did I miss? A pivot? And hasn't realized it's misspelled. That's funny, Dominic. I think he got caught, so I didn't get to see it. But thank you for pointing out.
Yeah, he corrected. They were spelling Asus wrong. I'm glad you guys corrected how to spell Asus.
That's really funny.
Or Asus.
So not only were they doing it, were they spamming?
They were spamming it
wrong.
incorrectly. Yeah.
Let's see here. My desk isn't against the wall. You'd get the RGB. Yeah, or you could reflect that RGB on the person across the way from you on a different desk. That's funny. Yeah, Wolverine makes a good point. That 0.5 millisecond response time and 270 hertz is for cutting edge gaming experience. Absolutely. That's why I look at this one all the time going like,
can't just hope that
heavy
advantage.
breathing. Let's see here.
With your heavy gaming experience, you're going to want a great Wi-Fi connection, and with that, you can get the Asus Zen Wi-Fi X T9AX7800 Tri-Band Mesh Wi-Fi System 2-pack. This Wi-Fi 6 tri-band whole home mesh provides ultra-fast speeds of up to 7,800 megabytes per second for your home. Asus Range Boost Plus technology improves Wi-Fi signal range, expanding coverage up to 5,700 square feet, up to 2.5 times faster wired connectivity with a 2.5 gigabytes per second WAN ports and LAN aggregation. The Asus Router app makes managing your mesh Wi-Fi system simple right from your smartphone. It is $50 off for $400 even. It looks dope too. We got the black ones here also. Yeah, these are so these are the black ones for you guys to see the physical. The black version of the white one you just saw, and we'll put it over here.
And by the way, so 5,700 square feet.
That's really far.
It's big. It's big. That'll take at least 2 apartments. So if you partner with your neighbors and want some really, really fast, amazing Wi-Fi for a lot cheaper, I'm just saying.
You could probably do a 4-way, like across the hall, almost. Have it near the front door.
All of you are gaming in that apartment complex.
Yeah, you got 2 and 2. You just put it at the front door. Someone's all 4 of you guys are gonna have great Wi-Fi.
And Wolverine brought up a good point, because when you were like, I haven't seen the 0.5, I was like, the only thing I've seen less than the 0.5 millisecond response time is a 0.3 millisecond response time. And Wolverine brought up a good point. Asus also has the amazing 27-inch.
You said 0.03.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's 0.03. That's basically that's basically nothing.
But 0.3 OLED, 240 hertz 4K monitor.
OLED is so gorgeous. I love OLED.
For $999, and it's like yes, because Asus has
got the stuff.
Got the monitors to drool over. Let me tell you. Rev, you're building your first PC to go to college. For any tech tips, I'd love to answer that. That is a broad question. So do us a favor, narrow down the question. Like what are you looking for? Maybe a price point, etc., etc. But beyond that, you can just check out the TikTok shopping cart right there. We've got a ton of great deals on awesome PCs, awesome monitors, everything that you would need. And then if you want to go from even there, you can go over onto our PC builder and type in components that you want. You can build from there, or you can look at our pre-builds. It's such a broad question. Do they? Do they, Sanity? I mean, I think you're probably right. Building your first PC, you're gonna. Oh yeah.
Hey, he said look it up. The 0.03. You know what?
Wow.
I'm curious now.
I mean, I believe you.
I 100% believe you. That's insane.
That is, yeah. Whew. Anyway, I'm gonna take a sip of quick water here, real quick.
I'll look it up later. Got you. Up next, we have the Asus ROG Strix Flare Cherry MX Brown mechanical gaming keyboard. That looks dope.
Somebody,
yeah.
No, because somebody earlier was saying, "What do you guys have any keyboards?" And I was like, "I know we do. We have both the wired and the wireless."
We haven't gone over any till now. This Cherry MX Brown. Oh, it has Cherry MX Brown switches. Is 100% anti-ghosting, full key rollover, and onboard memory for on-the-fly macro recording. Customizable logo badge for adding your own flair to your gaming station. It has an Asus Aura Sync for custom RGB to synchronize with your system, and integrated media controls keep your hands on the keyboard during intense gaming sessions. It is $55 off at $74.99. Make sure to check it out in the TikTok shop below. That's a
great
keyboard.
deal.
Yeah, great deal. Awesome looking keyboard.
Yeah. I love an RGB keyboard.
If you can do macros on the go, on the fly, not on the go, but on the fly is dope too. Yeah. I mean, which you can do on the fly, on the go. So
it's true.
You're flying on the go.
What kind of keys do you guys prefer? Do you like red switches, blue switches?
Are you asking if I would take the red or the blue one?
What?
You're asking if I take the red or the blue?
Not pills. Not everything is a bit.
Everything's a bit.
If you can make it one.
Most things are bits.
I'm trying to think what mine is.
Do you like the clacky clack?
I have clacky clack. So I have a alloy keyboard. I really like having the metal keyboard, and they clack a little bit, but it's like a metallic sound. I don't know. I really like it.
Yeah.
I've started hitting a bunch of keys when I was at the store, when I was at Best Buy getting stuff, and that was when I got.
See, I'm the opposite. If I'm sitting at a keyboard, I don't want to hear this all the time because
it's not that loud.
Because I hear this all the time, no matter what I do.
It's like I just really like the way the keys feel when I push them down.
Yeah, you get like a really satisfying cook.
Yeah.
And Max Blaze, you'd like a PC that allows you to communicate with aliens at a low price. My human being, you probably are already on one. It's called talking to other countries. A keyboard is sick as Vex. I like that. You want to transfer over? What? Oh no. Once you transfer over your SSD, it'll be 41 terabytes. What are you doing, Smokey? What do you do?
Oh, so on the topic of keyboards, we have the one that's wired in just now, and then someone was talking about wireless keyboards, and we do have a wireless gaming keyboard as well. This one is the Asus ROG Strix Scope 296 wireless gaming keyboard. It is pre-lubed. That's weird to say. Pre-lubed ROG NX.
What did you?
It literally says pre-lubed right there. I had to make sure I was saying that right. That's exactly what it says.
It does. It truly does.
For the third time. Pre-lubed ROG NX Snow switches for great keystroke feel and consistency with fast actuation. So they're just saying that the keys stroke real nice because they've been pre-lubed. Integrated dampening foam with added switch dampening pad. Structure absorbs pinging noises and echoes for improved keystrokes. What's this look you're giving me, Steve? I'm just going off the script. It's exactly what I'm reading. Connect using Bluetooth, allowing you to connect. I didn't write this, so maybe Ethan wrote it. Talk to Ethan. Connect using Bluetooth, allowing you to connect to up to 3 devices, 2.4 gigahertz RF USB receiver with ROG Speed Nova wireless technology or wired USB. $5 off at $174.99 for this wireless gaming keyboard from Asus.
I'm still looking at that first paragraph.
It's just, why did it have to be the first way to describe it?
Yeah, pre-lubed.
The first word to describe is pre-lubed. I mean, I get it. It's supposed to be really smooth strokes for the keys,
then,
but to describe it as the way it is.
As followed by great keystroke feel and fast execution. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And they just want us to say things.
Yeah. That was a choice. Someone made that choice. That was a decision.
Yep, someone made that choice. You're making a video game. The first is an open world one. Oh, you're making. Okay, yeah. Sorry, Smokey. There's a lot going on in the chat, and so I'm trying to keep up with it while doing the thing. So I'm sorry if I asked the question several times, but that's really cool that you're making a video game. I do vaguely remember you mentioning that. Let's see.
Looking at the YouTube,
I'm sorry, as Jeep, if you are not American based, it's not gonna work for you anyway. But we're happy to have you join us and talk about tech with us over here on YouTube. We do eventually. It's just that there's so much going on over on. We're streaming on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and our website.
Yeah, not to ignore you, SG. It's just the TikTok chat. It's the one that's just going crazy. But we do get to so we have on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. So we do get to those chats as well. It's just the TikTok one is the one that's happening, that has the most people in it, and it's just constantly going.
It's very true. And so with someone with ADHD, I gotta organize my stuff. Just like I'm gonna organize the Asus RS200 ROG Strix riser cable for cable management. This is a 240 millimeter riser cable with a female to male PCIe 3.0 by 16 connectivity and EMI shielding to block interference and performance degradation. So yeah, protect your stuff. Gotta go fast. This is a great addition to everything else that you're working with to keep things running smoothly without interference, and to keep things performing perfectly. That's my take on that. So hey, is everybody who's been here thus far, have you typed in the Asus takeover? Because in about half an hour, somebody will win the limited edition Asus ROG sweatshirt. Yeah, look how much fun that is. And this is the back of the sweatshirt, by the way. The front, so unassuming, so fun, so Republic of Gamers. Back, fun.
For those who dare.
For those who dare. I just love the little robot. It's so cute. But yeah, so make sure that you type it into the TikTok shop. Type it in only once. I promise if you've typed it in once, we've got your name down. In about a little less than half an hour, we're going to be finding out who wins that. And that's what's going on here. What's going on at ASUS Takeover? And I'm gonna scroll. Hey, thanks for checking out the shopping cart. Yeah, if you haven't checked out the shopping cart yet, I highly recommend doing so. These deals only last until midnight today, and the easiest way to find them once we are off the live is to go over onto our website /live. But do it now while you're here because everybody's looking at it and stuff will sell out. That's all. I've seen it happen so many times.
Yes, millimeter radiator.
Millimeter radiator. From chat box. I don't know if you're talking about me, but I would also like to be able to pay somebody else to do my job for me. I could just play video games all day. Great.
Or just pay me to do that.
Yeah, or that. That's fun. We are live.
Yeah, we've been on that forever. It's just hasn't worked out the way we wanted to yet.
My brother is next week, and I'm accepting ASUS gifts. That's fair. Hey, everybody's yelling at us to drink some water, so I think it's a hydrate or dehydrate moment.
Appreciate y'all. Make sure you stay hydrated as well.
Yes, this is for everybody. Make sure you are drinking water.
Yes. Yeah, it is hot out here too, so that's very important.
It is. It's a nice white color. White shirts cost more. That's interesting.
You also replace them way more often.
That's true. Yes, please do not spam the chat. If you've typed ASUS once and only once, you are already on that list. If you start spamming the chat, you will be removed. We warned you. That also sounds terrible. Hydrate or die straight. That sounds terrible. I don't want to do that.
I drink whiskey, but
but it has water in it. I mean,
does that count?
Yes.
Sure.
Keep drinking whiskey. You'll never die of dehydration.
Is that true?
Sure.
No.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Why not?
There's water in it.
Because alcohol does nothing but dehydrate you.
But there's water
in it.
Duh.
That's why I put a little drop in my scotch.
I mean, they'll get to a point where I can't drink anymore because I'm just probably knocked out.
Yep.
But
yeah.
Until that point.
Yeah, no, you'll go from other things well before it's dehydration.
Yeah. Like liver failure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did you want to tell them something, liver?
I've been there. Don't do that. I got to the point where my liver was poisoned. So don't be that guy. I've been that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Not a fun experience.
I can't be that guy. My body hits a certain point because like I have motion sickness.
Oh yeah, me too. If I drink enough, I start to get motion sickness also.
I just collapse from drinking too much.
Also that.
Yeah. I don't do that anymore. Those were a long time ago.
If I drink enough, I get seasick, I get food poisoning, and I get an inner ear disorder.
Oh wow.
I start falling down and other things.
And other things
happen. Awesome. That sounds pretty sick.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You all need mothers. That's why we have the
Mom,
ASUS
you might be
Prime.
watching
Who do you think taught me to drink?
Valid point. Mama! This is the ASUS Prime Z690P Wi-Fi D4 motherboard that hopefully will not teach you how to drink because don't pour water on your tech. You can pour water on anything once, but it probably won't work. Anyway, this ASUS Prime Z690P Mama board has an Intel LGA 1700 socket, which is ready for 12th and 13th gen Intel processors. Supports DDR4 RAM at 5300 megahertz of a clock with one PCIe 5.0 by 16. Remember, 5.0 stuff is going to start coming down the pike real soon, so you want to be prepared, future-proof yourself. It's also got one PCIe 4.0 by 16, two PCIe 3.0 by 16, and one PCIe 3.0 by 1. Again, we didn't fix that. I want to make sure. Do we have two? Do we have one? Or do we have three PCIe 3.0s? Because we have, it says it twice.
It is too late to address that issue.
It's done.
I have questions.
Look at the specs online.
I don't know.
Fair enough. For M.2 slots, we've got 3 PCIe 4.0 M.2, and for the back I/O, we have 3 USB 3.2 Type A ports, 1 USB 3.2 Type C port, and 2 USB 2.0 ports. Right now, this awesome stacked mama is $70 off, making her $149.99. You can find that right there in that TikTok shopping cart. Don't miss out on that deal.
We didn't get to this, huh?
We did not get to the router.
We didn't get to the router, the beautiful router. There wasn't a thing for it.
It's sold out.
Oh,
Well, we just enjoy looking at it.
Yep.
It's furry.
It is really nice.
I mean, what did I say?
That's why it looks like a RoboSpire.
I kept telling people, like, listen, we definitely had it here. So about an hour ago, it wasn't.
So make sure you get those deals because, again, they're going to disappear by midnight.
I'm just saying. And if you do like this, you can sign up for an email on our website.
Notifications when it's back in stock.
When it comes back in stock. You asked about the monster earlier. What monster? The drink? SpongeBob, my boy. That's just what it says. I don't know what's in front. I just save the RAM money with the DDR4. Double A chips for credit. Spill-proof containers for the win. Absolutely, Max Blaze. What if it's water cool? Yeah, Brandon Harper, I'm sorry about the router. Like I said, the most important thing is to be looking in that TikTok shopping cart because I've warned several times now.
She's seen it happen.
We're seeing it happen just now. We wouldn't have put this here if we didn't have at the beginning of what's going on.
We had it before we were able to get to it.
Gone, baby, gone.
It happens.
Oh yeah, and now everyone's asking.
But you know what's not gone yet? The Asus ROG Maximus Z690 Hero Wi-Fi. Which one?
This one.
Oh yes, this motherboard. Beautiful.
Hey, thanks for checking out that shopping cart.
Comes with Intel LGA 1700 socket and ready for 12th and 13th gen Intel Core processors. Supports there we go. Get the clear. Rotate. I don't know how I messed up this rotation. Yeah, I was like, yo, these aren't mine. I didn't put my fingers on them.
I wiped these down.
I would put my shirt on it, but I don't want to ruin it.
You're good.
Anyways,
it's a combo.
It supports DDR5 RAM at 6400 megahertz overclock. I remembered. Expansion slots, 2 PCIe 5.0 by 16 slots, and 1 PCIe 4.0 by 16. M.2 slots, 2 PCIe 4.0 M.2 slots, and 1 PCIe 3.0 M.2 slot. Has a back I/O, 6 USB 3.2 Type A ports, 2 Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports, and 2 USB 2.0 ports. It is $209 off, coming in at $390.99.
I like Blake. We need a replay. He did, in fact, fingerprint the screen.
I just be breaking stuff, you know. You're right. You can't take me anywhere. I'm the one that's gonna start poking stuff. See what this button do, and then stuff breaks. I'm like,
Here's my favorite thing.
I'm gone. I didn't do it.
Is you just full on own up to it. Anytime I tell Ethan, he picks stuff up, he throws it around, he catches it. I'm like, don't break it. He's like, I never break anything.
And I break everything.
So that's why I'm laughing at
like
you.
whenever we're at a friend's house, I'm like, what can I touch or play with? Because odds are I might break something.
When you were a kid, certainly not recently, and certainly not for me the other day, when you're walking through a grocery store or something, and you see some nice taut plastic wrapping on something,
keep going. This sounds familiar.
Back wrap. And it's not hurting. I'm not affecting the product. It's like a bunch of water bottles, but I'm gonna poke a little hole.
I always poke a hole, every time. Well, see, I would try to poke.
Nice.
I would try to poke a smiley face.
I
wouldn't do one hole. I would do a bunch of holes and try to make a picture. Something my mom would snap at me and be like, "What are you doing?"
Okay.
I was told to look, not touch, and that didn't work out very well.
As somebody who has to buy those on the regular.
Yeah, sorry, I was that kid.
You guys suck.
We've just made this pack of water bottles cheaper.
Not gonna lie, sometimes I'm 31, but I'm still a child of her. I still get bored and be like, and I'll poke a hole like singular. Sometimes just. Because I'm a grown child.
It feels good.
It does. There's something satisfying about it. It's like when you get when you get the packaging in the bubble wrap and start doing the bubble wrap.
Yeah.
It's just
this
that.
one area of my life I will totally submit to my id.
Yes.
That's fine. I will never buy those specifically because they're hard to carry. Once they're cut open.
Once that one hole happens, then it's
just harder to carry.
Just one little hole.
You said smiley faces.
I didn't do that.
I do that though.
I am a normal bystander.
See, and I don't do the hole in the middle. I would do the hole on the end where it breaks easier because I was just a deviant.
You chaotic child. You're a chaotic bad child.
Yeah.
Hey, don't make me go to the store with you anymore.
I don't do it anymore.
And Sour Candy, yes, you do have to be on the live to win. If you are not here and we call your name, we move on to the next person.
Yes, Wolverine.
But it's going to happen in about 20 minutes. Hey, thanks for the love. A little love. Let's see here. Wow, it's stuck back in my head again. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the... we sound like gunshots. He is so loud.
Why do brothers sound like gun?
Because he's so loud.
We both enunciate. He probably enunciates harder than I do, but he says we both just project really loud.
Yeah.
And I think he's got me beat now. I used to be louder than him, and then he said, "Nah, hold my beer."
Yeah.
And just started
I knew a little bit about tech, not a ton. And working here, I've been here for about 6 months, and I've got a little bit of tinnitus, and now that tinnitus just sort of forms into the shape of Ethan's voice, shouting tech specs in my head.
That's fair.
That'll help.
As we know, I got very specific earbuds to stand next to him when I'm hosting it.
Ethan wants to make sure there's no one that misses anything he says.
It's true.
And he does a good job at it.
I mean, and all that said, at least everything he has to say is something very interesting and informative.
Yeah. He just wants to make sure no one misses out. That's it.
It's very true. And you don't want to miss out on the Asus Tough Gaming. We gotta scroll it down. Oh
no, I did. That's the next
one.
one.
Oh, that is the next one. That is the next one.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna have you hold it. I'm gonna have you hold it because you have the better angle. This is the Asus ROG Strix Z790H gaming Wi-Fi mama board with an Intel LGA.
Yeah. Wasn't me.
Who else could it have been? Me. Intel LGA 1700 socket supports 12th and 13th gen processors. Intel processors, I should say. It supports DDR5 RAM at 7800 megahertz overclocked. For expansion slots, you've got one PCIe 5.0 by 16. Remember, that's where tech is going, coming up later this year. And one PCIe 4.0 by 16 slot and one PCIe 3.0 by 1 slot. For M.2s, you've got 4 PCIe 4.0 M.2 slots. And for the back you've got 6 USB 3.2 Type A ports, 1 USB 3.2 Type C ports, and 2 USB 2.0 ports. This mama is $20 off right now, making her $279.99. And you can only find that deal right here on Newegg Live in that TikTok shopping cart.
Hey.
I'm the fastest chipset out there. You right, Matt John. You know. Hey, you want to full cam it again?
Yeah. I had to take a screenshot.
I see. I understand. Do we take Cash App? Here's my response to you. Nah.
I do though.
Yeah, that's fair.
I won't say no. Heck yeah, I do.
I'll let you buy my beans.
Yeah.
Smokey the Fox. Well, you have no interest in the 4090 because you just got a 4070 Ti. Of course, you have no interest in the 4090. Kalani, hey, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
That's so sweet. I know, Eric, you keep trying to get me to sing that song. I'm not gonna do it. The setup looks good. Thank you so much. Ramiro, thank you. Asus products are the best. Love their products. Thank you so much.
Agreed. All quality.
They are. They truly are, though. They're really high quality at a really good price. That they work really hard to make sure that people can afford some really good and decent gaming tech.
Durable. It's gonna last you a long time.
It's true. And hey, 15 minutes until somebody's gonna win a fun Asus sweatshirt. So make sure you are here in that time, and also that you've typed Asus Takeover in the chat once, in the TikTok chat once. You start spamming, we give you the boot. But listen, if you type it in there once, I promise you, we've got people on it. You will be on our list of people. Before I got the most, I would have done. That's fair. I'm interested in the 4090. I think that's where I would start if I wanted to do a build or a pre-build.
The Z790, that was the motherboard we just showed.
Yes, it was. Did somebody have a question about that
on YouTube. Oh. That was iTube on YouTube. Yeah, we just showed that one. I don't want to pick it back up again because I'm too careful with it. But that was one that we just showed. The Asus.
Yes.
Nope, that is wrong.
Z790.
Yes, the Z790.
Yeah.
What's the question, iTube? Where is it? Well, look down in the shop. It should be in there.
Yeah, iTube. You're also on YouTube, which we do have a shop there. But you want to head over on to TikTok. That's where all the chat is, too, where the deals are, and all that kind of stuff. So head on over to YouTube.
You mean TikTok? You head on over to TikTok.
Sorry. Yes. Sorry. Because I looked at it while I was saying it. That's
would have done the same thing.
That's on me. Best price for GPU or 2K gaming? You have a 2070 now. That is a fantastic question because we actually right now have the Asus TUF Gaming GeForce RTX 4060 Ti Overclock Edition GPU right here. And this, somebody asked, like, what's our best deal on GPUs in general? This is it right here. This is the 4060 Ti from Asus TUF. It's the 8GB 128-bit GDDR6 with 4,352 CUDA cores, core clock speeds of 2,625 megahertz with one HDMI 2.1 and 3 DisplayPort 1.4 and a PCIe 4.0 slot. This is the best deal on GPUs that we've got going on right now. It's high quality. It's Asus TUF, so it's real tough. It's going to last you a real long time. And you can find that right there in the TikTok shopping cart. It's $40 off right now, making it $419.99. So that's a steal on a great gaming GPU.
Yes, Matt John. Yes.
So I hope that answers your question right there. We've got a whole bunch of other GPUs going on right now, but for the best bang for your buck, that's it. But hey, also make sure that you're not bottle capping your system if you're running on that 2070. I don't know what the rest of your specs are, but make sure that that's not gonna bottleneck stuff. Okay. Yeah, Will, I hear you.
You're struggling a little bit there.
A little bit. I think Asus has a whole bunch of options. If you check that TikTok shopping cart right there. If you don't see that right now, you can go over onto our website /live, see what we've been talking about all day long. If you don't find what you're looking for there, our main website will have it, or check back tomorrow. We do these lives every day from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time. And we've got different deals every day. That's why when we're talking about them, we can only guarantee them till midnight because those deals change all the time. So make sure. Yes, the person does have to be here to win. It's Moto. Thank you for answering that. But just for everybody, you do have to be in the chat. If we call your name and you're not here, Bummertown, USA, we will move on to a different name. The power. That's fair enough. Okay, you have 1070. Isn't that what you're working?
I got a 1080.
Yeah. You need to upgrade.
But I need to upgrade too, so I feel you. I feel you.
Do you and Ethan both have 10 series?
No, Ethan. I don't remember. Ethan has better than I do.
Yeah.
I think Ethan has a 30 series.
I thought he still had a 1080.
No, he did. He gave me his 1080.
Oh,
I have the 1080. Yeah. I didn't have a PC, period.
And
then I got a pre-build, and the 1080, funnily enough, was better than what came in the pre-build, and it was a new pre-build.
That's really funny.
New pre-build from Best Buy.
I was like, wait, that...
So Ethan had a 1080, and I got his 1080. And I didn't have a computer at all.
Did he just take his computer apart, hand you each piece?
He gave me his 1080. He gave me his...
Build it again.
He gave me his PSU, and
he's
then
never gonna learn if he doesn't do it himself.
Yeah, and then he gave me... Well, he gave me something else. There was one other thing he gave me. But yeah, so I'm gaming on a 1080. It's still better than anything I've had in ever. So.
Yeah.
And I don't need, from my personal gaming experience, I don't need the best. I need just good enough. If I can play on moderate, that's fine for me.
And listen, Garrett shouting at us in caps, it's time to drink water.
Appreciate you, Garrett.
Thank
you. Everyone hydrate. Stay hydrated. It's important. We are 70% water, so.
It's
true.
We
don't need to drink water.
Yeah.
No, we need to just constantly replace the 70%.
Or if you're that one guy that said whiskey and that's what he survives off of, then
He takes a water drink.
Drink your whiskey.
You
can't be hangover if you never stop drinking. I didn't encourage it, though.
Exactly. That's what I say. This is how my people do it. We don't have any potatoes, so gross vodka. But
you don't eat potatoes? Is that what you said? Are you not Irish?
No, I am, but we don't have them.
You don't have potatoes?
No,
Why?
it's tradition.
Oh, you're like not allowed to have potatoes?
Well, no, from the famine, and you just keep that going forward.
But we all moved here and planted them here.
What are you talking about?
That's the Irish potato
We've
famine.
had potatoes this whole time.
The whole time. The whole time. The whole time.
What? Something else we've had the whole time is the Asus Tough Gaming NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 Ti overclocked V2 graphics card. Comes with an 80 gigabyte 256-bit GDDR6X 6144 CUDA cores, boost clock 1815 megahertz, 2 HDMI 2.1 and 3 DisplayPort 1.4. Comes with a PCIe 4.0 and is $499.99.
Popular Zoomer, you're running the Asus F15 laptop now. Hey, you got Asus. That's what we want to hear. Also, stemmed Cornet. You love the Asus monitor. They're best for the price and high resolution and hertz. The refresh rates and the hertz. The mega. Yes. Tell me about it, stud. Like every time we start talking about the Asus monitors, I was like, give me. Yeah, just out of curiosity, stemmed Cornet, that's fun to say. Do you have one, or are you just like me and you're just constantly like, yes, I would like the thing. Give me the thing. And when's the draw, Shin AO? It's in a little less than 9 minutes.
Sorry, I'm blocked. My big head is blocking it. Sorry, y'all. I'd have to be like this otherwise, and this is not comfortable. So
versus that's what I'm doing to read the chat.
I can do this. I'm so blind like this. I can't do this.
I was gonna say, yeah.
If we're gonna be like this the whole stream, just hey, thanks for joining.
Let's see here. I'm just trying to catch. Hey, Tia Bean. Hey, welcome back. We love that you're here. How are you doing? It's Amy. Just see it. Thinking of getting secondhand 3080. I mean, yeah, do it if you can. Game monitor in the market provided by the best 4K game. Is that Wolverine? Is that the one you're talking about?
Wolverine.
Is that the one you're talking about? That was the 0.03 millisecond response
time.
Oh,
the one. Yeah, is that the one that you had, or did you say you had that, or that was just the one that you were saying you wanted to get?
I think they were saying that it exists.
Yeah.
And we were like, huh?
Yeah, I was drooling at the thought of that.
Seriously. Your radio only has one fan. Shan, you gotta get more. I love that you're all talking. I'm just trying to catch up. Did you hear Ben? It's very possibly, but he hasn't been in this room. He's just loud. Oh.
Yeah, you're hearing Steve.
Steve and Ben suddenly sound very similar.
You know, I will concede that we look similar. I will not concede that we sound the same.
Are you trying to say that you look like Ryan Reynolds?
If that shoe fits on this Deadpool-esque foot, I don't know. Yes, I do. I do look like Ryan Reynolds just as much as Ben looks like Ryan Reynolds.
There you go.
If he can look like Ryan Reynolds, then I do.
Yeah, true.
Well, we've been talking here, and I know somebody in this chat definitely has one of these. This is the Asus ROG Strix NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 Ti Overclock Edition GPU. This is a 12. Yay! We did decide that is RGB that you can change. It's really cool. I don't know if I'd want to. Like, I like that.
Yeah, it looks really
blue
dope.
And red default. It's 12 gigabyte, 192-bit GDDR6X with 7,680 CUDA cores with core clock speeds of 2,310 megahertz, boost clock speeds of 2,790 megahertz, 2 HDMI 2.1 and 3 DisplayPort 1.4a. It sits in the PCIe 4.0 world, and it is $989.99 right now, and you can find that 4070 Ti right there in that TikTok shopping cart. Don't miss out on this Asus takeover. I'm serious. Like we said, everybody has been talking about some stuff up here. It's like, why didn't you get to that? Stuff sells out. You gotta get them all. Get them
while it's hot.
Yeah, because deals be deals in.
Stuff ends at midnight.
Yeah, the sale ends at midnight, but in about 5 minutes, somebody is going to win the limited edition Asus ROG sweatshirt. It's so much fun. I really like it, and it's definitely the thing I would wear. One, gaming, but also just sitting in the refrigerator that is
like
all air conditioning.
I have one.
You have an air conditioner?
I have
Congratulations.
no. I have a shirt. I have an Asus shirt.
You do?
Yep.
See, now Steve's showing
And
off.
I don't want to get it like messed up or anything, so I don't wear it while I eat because I'm a child.
But that's how you get personality.
You give your shirt personality.
I have more than enough personality. I don't need to put it on my shirt.
My clothes get personality too.
I mostly
honestly,
wear it
same.
Anytime we go out to eat. That's why I try to only wear dark clothes because I'm like every time I go out, Amanda's like, "There's another one."
I found a coffee.
There's another one on your shirt. I'm like, all right.
I was like, I know I found a coffee stain earlier, and the answer is I did.
You did? Ah.
I also love Matt John. Don't peeve the Steve after midnight.
Don't peeve the Steve.
Don't peeve the Steve.
We turn into Benlins. Thank you.
You'll buy it today. What are people winning? People are going to win. We were just showing off.
Just showed it. That
awesome
shirt.
limited edition.
Boom, boom,
Asus
and we'll get to it
ROG
again
sweatshirt.
in the next 5 minutes. Because otherwise, I'm going to be showing this repeatedly.
Yes, we will. Let's see. I'm just trying to keep up. Hey, Jesse Bazin. I hope I pronounced that right. I probably didn't. Is the line 4K? Is the refresh rate? Was that a question or? Oh no, it's just Matt John like agreeing. Absolutely. Yes, I do have cat ears on. And hello, Built Different. It's been a while. Welcome back. Is there? And I press. Okay.
Oh, it's lost.
It's fine.
But you know what's not lost? The Asus Tough Gaming GT 501 White Edition mid-tower computer case. If I remember correctly, yes, this is my favorite looking one so far. It looks dope. Has fan options, front and top of case, fit up to 3 120mm fans or 2 140mm fans. Radiator options, front and top of case, can fit up to a 360mm radiator. Front I/O, 2 USB 3.1 Type A ports, microphone jack, and headphone jack. This case is $40 off, coming in at $149.99 for your own Stormtrooper/Transformer case.
I like Matt John saying Steve walks around with unseasoned shirts. Only salt and pepper for Steve. It's in the hair.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You look so distinguished.
Yes. I mean,
You don't have any at all.
No, I absolutely do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is that why you wear a hat?
I don't think you can see
That's
mine.
not. No, I wear a hat because this. It's offensive to call it either a mop or a fro because it.
What about
it
a
does,
mo?
It's
You got a mo up there? Or a frop?
It's a frop.
Oh, frop. There you go. I like
It's
frop
a
better. A mo almost sounds offensive. But frop sounds fun.
Parts of my hair are very curly. Parts of my hair are less curly. And
I wish
straighter.
you could see Ethan when he had his hair grown out, because the back of his head, like, because he's like, our hair will fro out, but we have very loose curls. The back of his head is straight.
Yeah.
Literally, like everything will be a fro. The back of his head is just like something like a bug zapper,
Yeah.
and just sticks out straight. It looks so weird. That's
why
he's like,
he keeps his hair short.
Yeah, he's gonna, yeah. 'Cause we might grow it on top, but he's like, he's not doing the back.
Yeah, for me, the top of my head is very curly, and the sides are noticeably straighter, and it's a weird look.
On that wonderful note of hair Excalibur, we've got 1 minute and 45 seconds left before somebody's going to win the limited edition Asus ROG sweatshirt. So make sure that you are still here in a couple minutes where we're going to be figuring out who wins that. And it looks like there's enough people here that we're going to chomp down on that cookie, and that cookie is going to tell us exactly who gets to take home the sweater. And hey, thanks for checking out that TikTok shopping cart. Remember to make sure to look at all of those deals in there because at midnight they're gone. And also once we're gone, they're harder to find.
What up, Omar?
I'm just saying, check out that TikTok shopping cart right there. Check out all the deals that we've been talking about today. Right in that TikTok shopping cart. We're a big fan of Asus. We're like seriously the best monitors around. They've got some fantastic motherboards. The Wi-Fi routers alone that spread out to like an entire apartment building. They've got some really amazing things, and we love partnering with them. So
Quality,
thank you so much.
durability, satisfaction.
One
Absolutely.
day, I'm going to do an all-white build, and Asus has just a ton of all-white things. I'm going to put all that in there. I'm going to turn my PC into a unicorn with RGB.
And that snow monitor
And
was
it's gonna
dope.
be
Or sorry,
amazing.
snow case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That white case was nice.
And hey, thanks again for hopping in that shopping cart. Let's see, we've got about 20 seconds left.
Fresh are the eggs? They're new.
All right. They're very new. We've got, okay, ready? We got about 15 seconds. Should we give them an extra minute, or do we think? What do you think? What do you think?
That's good, and then we'll do chaos.
We're gonna do chaos?
Yeah, we got enough people.
All right, we're gonna do chaos. Okay, we're gonna give you. Here's how chaos works. When I say go, everybody type ASUS takeover in the TikTok chat as many times as possible. The only time that we are going to allow you to spam.
Oh, okay. Now spam.
Only time we're going to allow you to spam. And it's going to be utter chaos. And what we're going to do is take a screen grab, and the person who said it, was the last person to say it, is the one who's going to win the sweatshirt.
Do we count down the screen grab?
I'm sorry?
Do we count down the screen grab?
Yes,
okay, we count down the screen grab.
And also, there has been an issue with people not winning because they wrote something other than the key phrase.
Okay, so if it's not the key phrase, that's the bottom line from the screen grab.
This is the one time.
That won't work.
You got to get it exactly right.
Wait, it's when we say, though. Don't start yet.
Capitalization doesn't matter. But it has to be.
Spell it right.
ASUS takeover.
Okay.
It has to be. If it's anything else, Eric, I'm looking at you. You're not going to win it.
Oh, Epic Eric sounds guilty here.
Uh-oh.
All right, so it'll be on her count, okay?
Ready? Okay, ready?
So, fly, my pretties, go!
On her count. Okay, so.
And then we'll do the countdown.
On her count, then you're going to spam ASUS takeover. Make sure you're spelling it right, okay? On her count.
Okay. Ready, my pretties? Fly! Go! Go!
Go! Spam it. Now you spam it. This is when you want to spam it. Spam ASUS takeover. This is the time to spam it.
Spam!
Make sure you're spelling it right. Spell it right.
Spam! All right, ready? 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Take the boat out!
Corey Cooterbaugh.
What a name.
What? All right, the winner is.
Wait, here.
Hold on. I want to. Make sure we say it right.
We're gonna put it up on.
Oh, we're gonna put it up.
Yeah,
on the product.
On the product.
We're gonna put it up on the product cam right now. You say, Corey said, "Hey, let's go."
There we go. Okay. All right, I'm gonna zoom in.
Oh, it's gonna be hell out of focus.
Zoom
No,
Zoom.
Hold on. Come on.
Is it gonna adjust?
Eventually. All right, Corey Poodle.
Corey, there it is. Perfect.
Congratulations! You get the limited edition ASUS ROG sweatshirt. So here's how this works. You slide into our DMs. The only time we're going to tell you to slide into our DMs. You slide into the Newegg DMs. You let us know that you are the grand winner of today's the ROG limited edition sweatshirt. And listen, we do keep this so we know who actually won. So don't be sliding into our DMs lying to us.
We don't track it by your display name. We track it by your screen name.
Yep.
Those are unique.
Because those are unique.
Okay. You're not gonna throw it?
No, I'm not gonna throw your tech.
I mean,
I'm not one of the Woods brothers. But hey, congratulations, Corey, and thank you so much to everybody who joined us in that moment.
Hey, well, we've been happy to have you here, all right?
Yeah.
But hey, don't go away, because soon, Jake from ASUS is going to stop on by.
Yes, this is not the end of our ASUS takeover. If you have any questions whatsoever for ASUS, we have Jake, the ASUS tech guy, is joining Ben with a call in to have all sorts of fun questions and answers, and it's going to be a great time. I'm very excited for it personally because again, I'm looking at the ASUS TUF laptop for myself.
And it'll be the best of any of the ASUS knowledge. More than I can offer you. More than she can offer you.
And James Henderson,
Wolverine, how dare you?
I didn't read.
It was not wasted.
James Henderson, you have the ASUS laptop. Which one do you have? Because again, I'm looking at them, and
she's looking for a new laptop.
I am. Let's see here. Congrats, Corey. Yes, absolutely. Congrats, Corey. Yeah, remember, slide into our DMs.
ASUS, you know, you've heard them all.
It's short for Pegasus.
Yeah.
It sounds weird.
But saying USIS is weird. You want to say USIS.
So ASUS.
ASUS. Or a sus.
Yeah.
That just seems sus.
Yeah, that's kind of say a sus.
A sus. But hey, congratulations! We're so glad that you're here. We know it's Pegasus. It's just
Say a sus.
Like you say us a million times.
What? You say it how you like.
Yeah.
Just like GIF or GIF. I mean, there's definitely a way to say it personally, but you know, to each their own. Tomato, tomato.
And let's scare Steve. I love that name. What about the Wi-Fi modem? We've got them in white and we have them in black. And if you want to know more about them, they're right there in that TikTok shopping cart. They are amazing. They have such a huge spread of Wi-Fi. Like I said, you can partner with like 2 to 4 other apartments.
Yeah, you.
And make sure. Who won the sweater? Corey. Pudabar.
I don't want to butcher it, so I'll let them say it.
But somebody named Corey. So make sure that you slide into our DMs.
So Corey, get into our DMs of the Newegg channel, of the Newegg TikTok account, and send us your contact information, and somebody else will get back to you with all the paper that you need, and we will send along your shirt.
The Moonlight Asus laptops are one of the most beautiful white devices. Okay, I'll look into that.
Asus Pro Gaming Mouse.
Oh, yeah. We probably don't have it in that shopping cart right now, but if we do carry it, it'll be on our main website, so you can just type that in and find that out. Wow, and everyone's still saying it. We love that. I think we probably have time. Wait, what's it? Let's Scare Steve is a brand name? Wait a minute. It's a brand name. I love that.
That's dope.
For our Chief Steve back there.
What?
There's a whole brand name called Let's Scare Steve. I'm a big fan of it. You DM'd us.
Perfect,
thank you so
Corey.
much. Hey, and thanks for joining us. But again, stick around because we've got Jake the Asus tech guy who's going to be joining Ben Tibbles in a couple of minutes with all of your Asus wants, needs, and questions to talk about all of their fun stuff. In the meantime, I think we can talk probably about one more thing. Why don't we talk about the...
Yeah, I just did that last episode.
Yeah? Okay. Let's talk about the Asus TUF Gaming GT502 Black ATX Mid-Tower computer case. We talked about the white. Let's talk about the black one. Well, that's the white one. Oh, it's the little corgi one.
There's the black. Yeah, it's her corgi cases.
My little corgi cases. For fan options, this little corgi case fits for the top and the right of the case two 140mm fans or 320mm fans. The side and bottom of the case can fit 3 120mm fans. For radiator options, the top, right, and side of the case can fit up to a 360mm radiator. And for the front I/O, you've got 2 USB 3.2 Type A ports, 1 USB 3.2 Type C port, a headphone jack, and a microphone jack. And it's $20 off right now, making it $149.99. You can find that and everything else we've been talking about today, all of our Asus products, right there in the TikTok shopping cart.
Down below. Dijon P, I agree. It is a very nice tower.
That is that's what I'm like. It's such a. It looks like
black
a
one, and there's also a white one too. So
that's true.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, depending on your build. And Max Blaze, you need a case. We just talked about 2 of them. We've got a couple more hanging around in that TikTok shopping cart, so make sure to check those out. You recently purchased the Asus ROG Rapture Wi-Fi gaming router about 2 weeks ago. Awesome, Jab. Thank you so much.
Do you like it or do you love it?
Correct. I love exclusive.
Sure is.
Corgi themed water loop. Is the shop available in Canada? I believe Newegg does have a shop in Canada. The live that you're watching right now is America based, so the deals and stuff only work if you're shipping to America. But head on over to our website. If you type it into Google, it'll usually send you to the correct one within your region.
Hey,
he's doing the heel kick again. Your Asus ZenBook Flip is the best laptop you've ever had. We love hearing that.
And here is the Tibbler
hello.
himself.
The Tibbles himself has arrived.
How are we doing, everybody?
We're doing great. We've got a lovely Corey who won our lovely sweatshirt.
Oh.
And I wanted to leave on this note a second ago that Nikki Nikki here said that their favorite laptop is the Asus ZenBook Flip. It's the best laptop they've ever had.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us on our Asus Takeover. Don't miss out on Jake, the Asus Tech Guy, joining the lovely Ben Tibbles right here.
Yeah, guys, don't go anywhere. We're gonna get Jake from Asus. Hey, will you guys let Johnny know that he's cut loose for the day?
Yep.
Don't go anywhere. There's going to be another winner because I did the time wrong.
I thought so.
Yep. So we'll just have another winner. Do you know how to make that site?
If you can figure it out, I can figure it
That is true. Welcome everybody. We're gonna get Jake from Asus on here very soon. So if you haven't had any questions, anything that you love about Asus, he loves hearing stuff like that. How we doing, everybody? Corey won.
Yeah, he did.
Corey won. Salem, how we doing? Corey, you never got what? Oh no, it's not. It's not fake, guys. It is not fake. There are shirts going. Did you get your email? Did you get your email and send it back to us? Because we need that.
What time?
Let's make it for 6:50. Namor says DNA is Asus. I have an Asus engineering laptop that's touchscreen and it's phenomenal laptop. Thank you, James Henderson. Sharky, I didn't. You may have been spamming it. If you were spamming it, you probably got muted for a minute, but I didn't block you. Clearly, we're talking to you. So, you're not blocked. Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's going to be another winner.
And a chicken dinner.
Sharky Gaming, I don't know what to tell you, man. I didn't block you. What do you recommend for earbuds under 150? There's a ton of great ones from Anchor. What are all the prizes? Limited edition Asus Republic of Gamers sweatshirts. Direct from the headquarters right here in sunny California. Max Blaze is here for the chicken dinner. Shroom, I'm back. That's right. Morrison Hurst, it's a great shirt, and it is direct from ROG, Republic of Gamers headquarters, right here in SoCal. They brought them over directly from their headquarters. I've said that word a lot. Thank you, whoever just hopped in the shopping cart. And we're going to have Jake from Asus here with us any minute now, guys, so be thinking of your questions. Let me know your questions. We are pretty much besties, Shroom. Although I got 10 groomsmen who'd be upset to hear me say that. They probably don't care. Johnny, do we see Jake yet?
Nope. No activity from Jake yet.
All right. Well, we may need to ping him. Will you ping Angel to ping Jake and let him know that we're ready when he is?
Oh, you said, so he left a message saying ready whenever.
Oh, well, we're ready for him. Beautiful. Yeah, much David. Yeah, there's a, oh, thanks, CJ Oceans. Talk about networking. Well, it's all about networking here in SoCal. Much David 10. I like how cheap the GPUs on Newegg are. Yeah, it's very nice now that GPU mining has gone the way of the dodo. But and so the prices on GPUs have never been more affordable than they are right now. But we do know that AI is becoming the next big thing, right? Like AI is taking over everything, which is great. It's efficient. It's an incredible tool, but it is very GPU heavy. They eat up graphics processing power. So I don't expect GPU prices to stay this low for very long. What up, Avereed? How we doing, everybody? Hey, thanks, Dawn. Oh, we got him?
Catching him in now.
Oh, let me get my headphones on so I can hear Ace the way you can. There he is, everybody. We got the man himself, Jake from Asus. How you doing, bud? Oh, Jake? Oh, can Jake not hear me? Uh-oh. I don't, Johnny, can we see the other camera? And maybe we need to get, Steve back in here for a sec? Hey Zeus, I'm glad you think it's real funny. We didn't do it. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, CJ, you can hear us on YouTube. Hey, I see Jake there. Can you hear me, Jake?
Yes, I can.
Oh, well, there we go. We got it. It heard you were coming, and it got scared and decided to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Please not him again.
How you doing, Jake? How's your day?
Absolutely wonderful today. Excited to be back and get to have some fun with everyone again and you guys.
Absolutely. We're thrilled to have you back and thrilled to have the Asus takeovers as always. We love featuring all these amazing pieces of tech right here. We were just talking about GPU prices, how GPUs have never been more affordable than they are right now. Now that crypto mining is not really GPU reliant anymore, and there's not the whole like aftermarket thing like eating up GPUs anymore.
No, absolutely. Especially now with some of the new cards that have launched recently. I know you and I got to have some fun showcasing some of the new ones, but definitely, like you said, with some of the we'll call them hiccups. I think that's the polite way to call it. Some of the hiccup with things. It's definitely much better these days, and just so many awesome products coming out too. And I know we've got a ton to show today, not just graphics cards, but a ton to show today.
Oh yeah,
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've got a lot. They were we were about halfway through our list when I took over. I think the next thing we were going to talk about was the Asus Tough Gaming GT502, the black ATX mid-tower PC case.
Correct.
Hey, look, I know stuff. Can we bring that product up? Hey, there we go. Oh, but we lost Jake's sound when we did that.
Is this better?
Oh, no, there we go. Ah.
Okay, good. I was going to say, this is one of my favorite cases for sure. And funny that we start off with this because I'm going to try to bring this into screen, but this is going to be a bit tough. No pun intended. But I actually got one of these yesterday. So
That's awesome.
So I've had a couple fun experiences getting to build in this case so far. Definitely one of my favorites. I know that the kind of like panoramic screen is still the hot rage these days. But in addition to that, which y'all just saw and can see on the screen as well, there's a lot more space inside than what it kind of will give you the feeling for just looking at it online, which is great because referencing back to graphics cards, while they may have gotten a bit more affordable, they've also gotten a bit larger. And that's one of the benefits to the GT502 is that you've got more than enough room to fit everything, plus plenty of fans and cooling, so you're not going to be concerned about, say, the building experience. And that's what I just got to deal with is building one of these yesterday. It was very, very easy to do. There was no concerns about space restrictions or fitting everything or can I get enough cooling in here. So definitely a top pick for me right now. especially because it comes in both white and black. So for those of you who are into either aesthetic, you're already set there.
Yeah, I do love the layout of this. It is not your usual tempered glass, just single wall, and then, you know, black metal with some, you know, definitely cool. Everything Asus makes, and we talk about this every time you come on, but everything Asus makes, from the highest end, you know, ROG Strix, and golly, I know I'm forgetting an even fancier Asus line, but the tough, right? Your entry level price point, but still delivering great build quality, but also high performance. And it's not like a potato to look at. It's got its own cool style elements. And they all work in every level, not just within the level, but together. You know, an Asus tough gaming case looks great with an ROG Strix Mobo in it. And all these cool elements just really work together very well.
No, absolutely. You touched on a great point there, that while each of our series definitely has its kind of standalone styling, we've talked about it with the Prime, and you know, some people see it as like this NASA punk styling, and then you've got Tough, which is for a long time now been kind of a more militaristic and durable type series, and then you've got Strix and what you were referencing before, the ROG Formal lineup, which carries kind of a more premium, clean and minimalist design compared to the Strix, which can be the like edgier kind of more angular design styling at times, a little bit more like heavier on RGB and things of that nature. So we've got quite a bit of different styles, but for a lot of the different parts themselves, they carry enough subtlety to it, and the overall Asus design language, which obviously permeates all of our products, to be able to pair things together. I know that there's plenty of people posting around online, whether it's content creators or whether it's, obviously you guys have done some stuff recently as well, and you can see even mixing some of these product lines that, you know, it doesn't necessarily detract from the overall aesthetic and the finished product. So it's easy to mix and match too if you've got something in particular you're wanting, or if you get, say, a tough setup and then later on want to move to, say, the ROG Strix series, you're not going to feel bad for, say, having a tough case because it would look out of place.
Absolutely. I think I love what you said about you know, how they can work together, and it almost makes me think of a color wheel, right? Like you can go all the way to Asus Tough and it's a singular look and it looks cohesive and beautiful, but you can also go to something that's a little halfway between Tough and Strix, and now you've got some edge inside of that style, but it's also still tough. But then, you know, like you said, if you go into the ROG line, you've got that minimalist kind of beautiful in its engineering appearance. And these can all make a very custom feel and a build that isn't just like high performance, high reliability, but it's also highly you. It's highly uniquely your style.
No, absolutely. That's exactly a great way to phrase it. No matter what combination of gear you get, you're gonna have an awesome finished product. That's definitely something that we want to try to continue to enforce as an idea, that, you know, you don't have to go all in on one section if you've got different pieces you like, and that just, we try to design everything so that it's awesome as a cohesive, you know, full setup, of course, but that, you know, different people have different tastes, and we've had people say, I want a little bit less RGB on, say, the Strix series, so they might like the Tough card more, or even say the Asus dual cards, because they feature less RGB typically. And that's a perfect fit for a case like this. You can still easily combine it in there, and it's going to look right at home.
That's, first of all, absolutely agree. I love that case. I think it's the perfect showcase for all your components within. Like, it's a beautiful case that doesn't distract from the components inside. It more frames them. We had a question from the Dude Dad about the front panel, where I see it's a 2 USB 3.2 Type A, 1 Type C, and then your headphone and microphone jack. Jake, the front panel header on this case, what power delivery spec is on the USB-C port, 2.0 or 3.0?
That is a good question. I believe it is the 3.0. But let's come back to that question. I'll answer that.
Yeah, we can come back to that later.
Just
But
a moment.
yeah, there you go, the doodad. The current guess is 3.0, but we're not going to hold anyone to anything. All right, right now this incredible case is $20 off, making it just $149.99. And that's an excellent deal. I mean, on a case that size, no matter who's making it, that's a fantastic deal. But that it's an Asus TUF component just speaks to its reliability, the quality of it, and you could see for yourself how cool it was. I want to remind everyone to stick around and to type Asus Takeover in the chat right here on TikTok. Because later on, somebody is going to win that limited edition Asus ROG sweatshirt that we have a version of right here. Very, very nice. Very light. Oh, are you wearing that right now? Look at you repping. Yeah, you can be just like we all want to be. You can be like Jake and get one of these very cool sweatshirts of your own directly from ROG headquarters in beautiful SoCal. I did see someone on YouTube, CJ Oceans, is saying, Asus, if you can someday, make a half-length, half-height mini and NVIDIA card. Maybe use laptop GPUs to make mini graphics cards for little builds.
So that is actually something that we take a lot of feedback with. If anyone's been kind of paying attention, we've launched, say, the ProArt series cards recently that feature that smaller form factor. When you start talking about half height, there are definitely some limitations on cooling something that runs as hot as a 4090. And I've mentioned this, I think, a few times before, but you'll always have to weigh what's acceptable to different people, because keeping a card from throttling is different than, say, keeping it at the specific number somebody is happy with. Even though cards can easily run much hotter with, out damaging anything or really losing any performance. There's always that, what are people comfortable with as far as an aspect. But it is something that we've continued to work on, kind of with the start being the ProArt series and having some smaller cards like the Dual series as well. So it's something we're continuing to put some effort into to see just how far we can push the tech and cooling and everything to provide as many options to people as possible.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's when you're talking like computer engineering, that's the whole name of the game is heat versus size, because that's what makes a CPU so impressive, is how much power and how much it can do in such a tiny package. And a GPU, the whole reason that, like you were saying, the whole reason that we see bigger GPUs is because to achieve those numbers, you have to generate a ton of heat, and to do that safely, you need a dedicated cooling solution. But what I would say is, does Asus make a water-cooled GPU currently?
So we do actually have two. We have the 4090 Strix LC, which uses a very similar cooling design to the previous RTX 30 series Strix cooler. So that's an AIO-based model. Additionally, we have recently announced, though it's not available yet, is the ROG Matrix 4090. And that thing is pretty insane. It's got a more robust cooling solution to it, in addition to using liquid metal to pair everything together to amplify that heat transfer even more. So don't have a specific time frame on that just yet, but if you're talking about kind of water cooled and everything, that's going to be as good as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, I love water cooled GPUs. The first time I saw one, it blew my mind. It just, until you see something like that, you don't realize how much of the beef of a GPU is just dedicated to keeping it cool and keeping it safe.
No,
CJ,
absolutely.
oh, I'm so
ahead.
sorry. No, CJ just wanted to say thank you for the answer, and Asus leading the way. If anyone can solve thermal limits, it's Asus.
Appreciate the love, guys. Speaking of answers for stuff, just to confirm, it is Gen 3.2 Type-C for that front panel.
There you go, the dude dad. We're bringing you answers whenever we can. I do want to move on to the next product because I could talk to you guys to you forever. But we're here to talk about Asus, like the Asus ROG Strix LC2 White Edition AIO Liquid CPU Cooler. I think it's a very cool looking component. I mean, all white builds are really trendy right now, but I think mixed component builds, black and white combined cases, kind of that checkerboard effect, can also be really effective. And I think white just makes RGB pop a little brighter.
No, I couldn't agree more. That's actually part of what got me into a lot of the white aesthetic parts. That's why I'm a big fan of our new Dual series and the Prime series because they carry that white aesthetic. I think it helps a lot of the design pop a little bit more, especially like once you put it into a case, and depending on the RGB lighting and how everything you have set up, it might not be as easy to see some of the components. And for me, we've put so much time and effort into the aesthetics alone. Obviously the performance and features and stuff are there, but we put so much effort into the aesthetics. And when it goes into the case and it might be darker, especially if the room's not lit up very well, you can lose a lot of the appearance and everything. And so like you said, having some of these white aesthetic parts really helps things pop more, helps the RGB be a bit more vibrant, and that's a huge part that got me into it. It's like my stuff at home is on a white setup so that I can appreciate all the beauty of it a little bit more easily.
I agree, and I think this part looks beautiful, especially the details on the water block. It's Geo over on TikTok says Asus gaming monitor is the best for me. Asus getting a ton of love out here. Gamer Mark 75. On P over on YouTube. Yeah, this is live. Sorry, we got a little talk up, caught up talking. We'll address your GPU question in just a second. Let's talk about this AIO for a second. It's a 360 millimeter AIO, 3 120 millimeter fans, of course. It is compatible with LGA 17 and 1200 sockets, as well as AMD AM4 sockets. So that means the current and previous bracket generation for Intel, and then the previous bracket generation for AMD, not the current AM5 socket. Fan speeds between 800 and 2500 RPM. Fan noise at just 37.6 decibels, not much louder than a whisper. And then, of course, you have that beautiful addressable RGB.
Yeah, and actually we do have it. It's available for AM5 as well. So
okay.
When you get you should actually have any of the mounting you need for any current gen, AMD plus, like was just mentioned, the prior gen, and then same for the current and previous gen Intel stuff too, and even older for some of the Intel stuff, just because the socket mounting has been around for a little while before LGA 1700 came along.
Yeah, when I read those compatibility lists with like the LGA 1700, sometimes it goes way back, way far back to like CPUs that I'm like, I can't believe it's even a similar size. It's just amazing what can be done with such intelligent engineering. Johnny, can we move on to a different picture here? I just want to show people a little more about. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted to show everyone. That is so cool. The ROG logo there in beautiful LED RGB.
No, absolutely. And again, you'll notice that a lot of the aesthetics, even though we very frequently, often even generation to generation, and sometimes within a generation, we'll update styling for a lot of our parts, that we always do our best to make sure that we don't make such a drastic change to everything that prior gen parts won't still, look the part and fit in well. So if you have this with any of our new stuff, you're going to be more than set for this to be applicable and just fit right in with any of the, like, say, Z690, Z790, or even if you're still rocking like Z590 or some older stuff, this will still look great in there. And for some of those older systems, can help bring a little bit of an updated styling and things like, having the screen on there that's also becoming more popular, and having that kind of like more RGB lit logo and everything to the pump housing.
Yeah, and I think that's a very cool feature that Asus puts into their engineering and their style, is not just making sure that everything is beautiful and aesthetic, but it's cohesive. And it's impressive enough that Asus components are cohesive throughout your different lines, but the fact that they're cohesive throughout the lines, throughout the generations, is just a step beyond design what's the word I'm looking for? Forethought that you see in any other brand.
We are future-proofing aesthetics. You heard it here first.
No, absolutely.
I don't know if we can actually even say that, but we are putting a lot of forethought, as was said, into the aesthetics, and making sure that just, even if you go back to some of our older series from like X299 days, you can still see enough similarities between some new stuff and the old stuff that, it doesn't look super odd or out of place. And we're talking about X299, which is a decent bit ago these days now. So that's part of what I enjoy here, is that while we're always focused on pushing aesthetics and performance, and that's half of what the Matrix card is, for example, that we're always continuing to put that same level of effort into the full design package, so that we can provide you something that runs fast, runs cool, is robust on features, but that you're not sacrificing by having something that might not be as aesthetically pleasing to you, which is also, again, why we offer so many different ranges, because people have different tastes. So whether it's Prime, or it's Tough, or it's Strix, or it's ROG Formal, should have something that you can appreciate.
That's awesome. This AIO is awesome. It is just $179.99. It is broadly compatible. It's going to work with pretty much anything you're working with right now. I do want to say that CJ Oceans, it can do AM5 as well as AM4. And CJ Oceans noticed something that I noticed on the water block, that the RGB kind of twists down around the edges of the water block. A very cool detail. I do want to address some comments that we're getting over on TikTok. First of all, hello Ace, how you doing, bud? Good to see you again. Secondly, to Much David and our friend Surprised Face, whose name I don't actually see. I can talk to you guys about what we offer on Newegg later, but because Asus doesn't really make a CPU or RAM, I want to stay focused on, while we've got Jake, I want to stay focused on the products that he's really specialized in, because it's always amazing when we get to have him here. We're going to talk about one more AIO here in just a second. This is the Asus ROG, is it Ryuo?
That's how I pronounce it.
Ryo?
Yeah, I've always pronounced it Ryo. Kind of like Ryu from Street Fighter. That's the way I've always pronounced it, so we're going to go with that. Unless I get fussed at and corrected after this. But for now, that's what we're going with, is Ryo. This is, to me, one of my favorites that we've actually come out with. I know that we also have the Ryujin 3 now, which has bigger screen and everything. But this is one of my favorites, because it just carries it's almost like a direct upgrade to the Strix LC. That's kind of the way I see it. You're going to have from what the Strix has with the 7th gen Ace Tech, the Ryu 3 has the 8th gen Ace Tech. So it's been revamped for basically the full cooling compatibility, not compatibility, but the full cooling performance. So that's been improved. You're going to see that you've now got the Animate type screen on there, which is an upgrade from the previous kind of like standard LCD type design for the Strix LC, which also pairs to a lot of our products these days. So again, going back to, we're updating aesthetics along with performance and stuff. We're updating the aesthetics to kind of match among product lines. So we've got this whole full Animate series now that permeates a lot of our products, peripherals, motherboards, etc. And I love this kind of like pixelated styling. It might be a little bit retro and going back to those days, but growing up from that time, like, I love this kind of styling. It's just a lot of fun to me. And then of course, just bringing in such a very clean white styling to this, which we just mentioned, really helps elevate the lighting effects that you can utilize. So this is definitely one of my favorites that we've had, since we've kind of started doing AIOs.
And it is gorgeous. I do love this water block as well. It's such a very cool, unique style. Just to get some of the more cut and dry facts out of the way, folks, it is a 240 millimeter radiator, of course, two 120 millimeter fans. This is also broadly compatible with LGA 17 and 1200, as well as AM4 and AM5 on AMDs. Fan speeds of 2200 RPM with a fan noise of only 36.45 decibels. It does, of course, feature beautiful addressable RGB. It's $40 off, making it just $209.99. Dog for president indeed, dog. Welcome back. I do want to get some questions sent your way, Jake, from the chat. Gamer Mark 75, and we don't have to sit for this for very long, but he was they were very patient, so I want to address it. In your estimation, which is better, a 3060 or a 6700? RTX 3060 or RX 6700?
That's a bit tough, because you're going to get into, when you're comparing NVIDIA and AMD, you're going to get into a lot of features and optimizations. I hate to give kind of such a generic answer, but this is going to be one of those times where I say definitely reference benchmarks for specifically not just games, but what you're doing. Because different workloads are going to utilize different aspects more heavily. And you've got games that, will have certain features built into them that may be able to capitalize better on one card or the other. So for example, if you're like, hey, I play heavy into FPS, then I would lean towards the 3060 specifically because of features like reflex. Or if you might be playing a game that utilizes DLSS2, then something like the 3060 can have additional advantages there. But then there's also things to consider, like, are you using a monitor that specifically well, then the 6700 might be the better choice there. So definitely take a look at, one, your full setup, and two, like what games or potentially productivity and kind of, if you're using it for work as well, what apps and programs you use, and always tailor the those hardware types towards what you actually need, versus just saying, oh, on paper, just raw numbers on an average across 20 games, one performs slightly better, because everybody's use case is, very dependent. So while that, sorry to not give you a specific answer and help guide you to an exact outcome there, but I'd rather you be empowered to make the best decision for specifically what you need.
I think that is the only correct answer, honestly. You can't pick one over the other flatly. It just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Yes, thank you, Krieg. First of all, Krieg, thank you for your patience over on TikTok. I do need to ask you a couple quick questions. Dog wants to know if he has your vote for president in 2024. He's a dog. He promises tennis balls for everyone.
Yes, 100%. As a dog lover, we'll always vote for dog.
Yeah, and dog's pretty cute. And then Agent PCs had a question. Agent PCs wanted to know if there's any way to sponsor or partner with Asus as a creator or a gamer?
There are some ways to do so. We don't necessarily have a formalized entry at the moment online, but that said, we have a lot of people who watch the various communities for both established and upcoming talent. So be aware that, if that's something that you're interested in, we're always watching. Otherwise, we have, I'll specifically point out that we have a Facebook group, Asus PC DIY, that there's a few reps of us in there. And that's a big place that we watch for people, especially people coming in to kind of showcase the content, whether it's sharing reviews or sharing builds and stuff that they've done. And make yourself known to us so we're aware of what you're doing.
Get out there and show that Asus love. We got Krieg, who asked a great question. Would you like to give them a quick rundown of what the difference is between tough and Strix? What is tough is their question.
So this is actually one that we get a lot. And from a quick glance, obviously the aesthetics are different, and that's going to play a heavy part into it for a lot of people. Where ROG as a brand starts to differentiate itself from kind of the Asus core brand is a lot that we put into the technology and performance side. And over time, a lot of this stuff will trickle down to, say, tough gaming, especially. You'll see it that, I think the best example is, say, like when monitors came out and we started having G-Sync and FreeSync available. Those were at the start, and still are somewhat, but were considered heavily premium, innovative features. And they started with the ROG, kind of ROG Strix series. And nowadays you can find tough with G-Sync, G-Sync compatible, and everything else. And that's to say that you'll still see things like G-Sync Ultimate on some of the ROG monitors, whereas it's not really trickled down just yet to the tough series. So that's as an overall outlook on where some of those things differentiate themselves. For example, the coolers on the graphics cards, we've put a more robust cooling solution, not just a larger one, but one that's had more engineering and effort and materials and everything else put into the cooler itself to provide those better temperatures and lower noise for, say, a Strix 4090 comparative to a tough 4090. So that's kind of the best way to explain it, is that tough is our mainstream made for everyone, and then ROG is where we start to push the limits with everything that we can do as as the Asus company.
That was a great breakdown. Thank you, because that was even I even learned some stuff in there. I do, and I come from I spent many years working in the automotive industry, and you see that in like classes of vehicle, right? You see like the luxury lines are the ones that started with like self-braking and lane assist and these higher end features, and then you see it as that becomes a more normalized feature, it starts coming down into the more affordable and less less ostentatious brands or lineups. I think it's a cool way to bring technology into your lineup, is the new stuff, the fanciest, the most because the new stuff is always the most expensive because it's the newest. It hasn't had that much development behind it yet. So it makes sense to put it in the stuff for people who are really looking to make that investment. And then as the years go by and as development goes into those technologies, it comes down into the more affordable lineups. And I just think that's a very cool thing that Asus does. I skipped right over a couple more questions. Soups D wanted to know the benefit, and we can go pretty quickly through this, but benefit of water cooling versus traditional air cooling. How are leaks prevented? How does the liquid remain cool? I would say the biggest difference, obviously, is that water just moves heat faster. It moves it more efficiently than air does. And the liquid remains cool similarly to it's just a middleman between the air and the CPU. The liquid takes the direct heat from the CPU, brings it to the radiator where the water is brought down in temperature before it's circled back to absorb heat again. And I don't want to speak for you on this, but my understanding is, especially these AIOs, leak prevention starts with just quality materials.
That's exactly correct. You basically nailed all the main points already. The biggest thing with just water cooling itself, and this applies to AIOs, which are a form of water cooling, even though we typically refer to them as AIO versus air versus, like, say, custom loop water cooling. But with a standard air cooler, you are, for the most part, limited to a size. Like, at a certain point, you're going to start to get too large to be able to even, say, hang it off the socket safely. And the big part of the cooling is, we're going to have pumps and other things, the cold plate, stuff like that, that matters a lot in the heat transfer. But a lot of the total capacity or potential for the cooling is due to how many fans and how much heat sink do you have. And by pulling the heat sink, in the case of an AIO, the radiator now, off of the CPU and being able to mount it elsewhere means that you can have higher fin density, you can have a thicker radiator, you can just have more of this heatsink material, aka the radiator, to dissipate all of that. And you're able to space out more fans on it, which means that instead of having 1 or 2 fans blowing through a single chunk of metal, you can now have 3 fans, or you can do push-pull and have 3 fans on each side and run those fans at a lower speed while still removing the same amount of heat. So that's where one of the big benefits comes in, is on the noise and cooling side. And then obviously custom loop extends that even further, where, with referencing back to the GT502, there's so much room in there to put multiple radiators. You can have 2 or 3 radiators of the same size as what's on, say, a Ryu or Ryujin or Strix 360 cooler. You can have 3 360s in there. And now you've got all of that space to remove heat from the system and more fans turning more quietly. So that's the gist of the benefits there. And then as far as safety, it's exactly what you said. It starts with high quality control for manufacturing and quality control in the engineering that goes into the materials chosen, into making sure that the actual liquid inside of the AIO, that the pump used, all of that is reliable and it's going to stand up to use over time. That's the big core piece of it there. And then you can get the same feeling of that if you do it yourself with, like, custom loop water cooling, that you want to use reliable parts, you want to use reliable brands, because you don't want a tube popping loose, which, while these are all connected together at the factory and everything for an AIO, when you're doing it yourself, you have to be a lot more cautious about what you're doing. From experience, I know this, unfortunately. So when you do something like custom liquid cooling yourself, you get to understand a lot more just what all goes into making something like an AIO, so that it can be reliable and a product that you're going to have peace of mind using.
Yeah, and I mean, we're talking Asus, so we all know that we're dealing with high reliability and one of the most, if not the most, trusted brand in PC manufacturing. Period. So, like, that all aside, we're how many years into AIOs are we? Like, when did the first AIO even launch? There's been a lot of time to refine and develop these systems too.
Absolutely. These have been around a long time now. Not quite, say, air cooler time, but also something to keep in mind is that while AIOs may, within the overall lifespan of, say, PC tech, be newer, the tech itself is not new. your car has a radiator and has tubes and has cooling units hooked up to an engine. So your core idea of using a radiator and fans and tubes disconnected from whatever's being cooled to pull heat away from something to it is a very, very well fleshed out idea in tech at its like base core. So while we've obviously adapted it to better cool computer components, whether it's a CPU or even on our GPUs and the graphics cards, it's something that's had a lot of the trial and error test already taken out of it, and then it's up to us to refine that and hone it and make everything precise enough to go in your computer and then be safe. So
and I hadn't even considered what you said. Like, yeah, of course, there's been liquid cooling on different types of engineering for decades at least. So like, yeah, there's been times outside of a PC case for a lot of these systems to mature, and then like, yeah, you get to then narrow, bring it down in scale and make it more refined further for electronics and things. The Matt John just said Jake, and then said that their first motherboard was an Asus. Always had great support. And Geo says, Asus, you mean the best brand? And hey, Aiden, I didn't mean to ignore you, friend. How you doing, Aiden? Welcome, everybody. It's Asus. Please make sure you're putting Asus Takeover in the TikTok chat so you are entered for your chance to win one of these really cool Asus ROG limited edition gaming sweatshirts. It's very cool. It's direct from their headquarters. And now, before we go too deep into anything like that, or anything else, I do want to move forward a little bit in our product, because we got some PSUs to talk about, and we haven't really had a chance to discuss those yet. So this specifically is the Asus ROG Thor 1000 watt PSU. And I've got the 850 watt here on the desk with me, but tell us a little about this.
So from the get-go, the first thing that's going to stand out is that it's actually got a power meter to it. This is definitely a more recent addition to PSUs, but I think it's a fun one. And for a lot of people, it might even be a little bit of a peace of mind feature too. I know that, and I'm sure you guys get this as well, a ton of questions about, can my PSU handle, say, the new 4090 or something? Mm-hmm. And while a lot of these cards do push quite a bit of power, this kind of helps you see what your system's actually running. Because something to keep in mind is that often, not that you can't, but often you won't be running everything at 100% on both the CPU and the graphics card. Mm-hmm. And so having something like a 1000 watt, you're going to be more than set for anything that you need these days. Unless you're really, really hard pushing overclocking on, say, a 13900K and a 4090, you're going to be set. But it's still a fun thing to have, and it can, give you a little peace of mind when you see, oh, I'm actually only running like 650 watts right now while I'm in this specific game. So that's definitely nice. Otherwise, as far as the PSU itself, even internally to this, there are actually heat sinks on the PCB and on some of the components of the PSU. Obviously, we just got done talking about removing heat from components, but that's related to like reliability, and even just for the fact that having those on there means that the fan can run a little bit slower when you've already got those heat sinks also helping radiate and pull heat away. So that's one of the big benefits, is not just that we put a lot of engineering into making sure it's a very reliable product when it can pull up to 1000 watts if you need it, but in addition, that it's going to be very quiet while doing it. And then, while not shown here, the other actual probably favorite part of mine is that it comes with pre-sleeved cables. So instead of having just that one big giant chunky black wire or the old kind of plasticky ribbon cables, you've got individually sleeved ones, and you can just throw it in your system and have nice cables from the get-go, which is honestly kind of a godsend to someone like me who just likes things to look pretty.
Well, and it just speaks to the quality and the detail put into this product. I've got to say that I think my favorite detail, not just the like finished metal grate on top, which is just very cool and fun to touch, frankly. But also, I like that RGB. I like the corner there. It's just a detail that you don't see put into a lot of PSUs. PSUs, in many instances, just get kind of overlooked. They're not, they're a black cube, and that's it. And you put it in the case, and you forget you ever touched it. But this is a very cool, detailed, and yeah, that people are going nuts for that power readout in the chat. The Matt John says it's a great detail that reminds him of the economy meter in a Prius, which I think is a great. I mean, absolutely. I love when I'm in a car that does the economy meter, and you can see it go up and down depending on how aggressively you're driving. The Matt John says, nothing makes an ROG build shine like clean wires. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, like I said, probably my favorite part, especially, if you've gone all in on an ROG system, man, nothing makes me more sad than like this beautiful full ROG system, everything's fleshed out, all these fancy parts, and then like ribbon cables, or let's go back to like mustard cable days, and it's just like
a bunch of like just a rat's nest of cables back there. The Bone Bond Confectionery says could do with a PC for business. Well, I tell you, Jake told us the last time, and I think it's part of the thumbnail here, how you can put together a PC with all amazing quality components from Asus, and you're still spending less than $1,000. Like, this is very doable. And again, you don't have to skimp or compromise with the quality of the components you're using. This is Asus. It doesn't get like there's not a better brand that you should be looking at. Like, this is it, and it's under $1,000 for an entire build. I think it's incredible. The Matt John says they find cable management relaxing, which I think is sociopath behavior, but I'm not here to judge. I do want to tell everyone that 1,000 watt Asus ROG Thor PSU is $50 off right now, making it just $309.99. But if you don't need 1,000 watts, as Jake told us, very few people probably do, we do have the 850 watt version, also $50 off, for $199.99. So a little bit of a savings there. Both of those are 80 plus platinum certified in their efficiency, which is fantastic. It's almost as high as efficiency gets in the current rating system. There is titanium above that, but especially when you're talking about a 1,000 watt PSU, your PSU is only at its most efficient when it's running smack bang on at 50% workload. So if you can work it so that your build is exactly half of your PSU's capacity when you're operating it in the way that you're looking to operate it most, you can save a little bit there. But I think in general, it's just best to get the highest rating you can manage given your current layout. Platinum is excellent. Again, titanium is just minutely better, and at that point you're talking about 1% or 2%, or maybe 1.5%. David Bowman says, I have mustard cables.
I'm sorry. We have some good deals on PSUs right now, though, as was just mentioned.
There you go, David. You gotta upgrade, my friend, and now's the time. And please, that Thor, the 850 watt, is gorgeous. It's an incredibly cool looking component, and it's $200 right now. That's nothing for an 800 watt platinum certified PSU. Forget style, just that functionality for $200 is an amazing get. But then you add that ROG style on there. Does this also have that power readout, the 850?
It does, and again, that one also comes with the cables, and I don't know if anybody's priced cables, but they aren't quite the cheapest thing in the world. So the fact that you're getting, included pre-sleeved cables and everything just adds to it. And just for a mention, because I don't think we had a picture of it, but they're a kind of a black carbon style, so they're going to fit in with basically anything I have from our series and beyond that. So
Johnny, can you scroll and see if we get a picture of the cables? I don't know if you do usually on the site, but there's some beauty shots of it, y'all. This is a beautiful component, especially like in a world where this component is usually there's a picture. Let's see if you can zoom in a little bit. Give it some zoom. Enhance. While you're doing that, Yer highly recommends the ROG Zephyrus M16 beast of a laptop.
Also an excellent choice. I've got a G14 myself, and I've had it for a couple of years and love it.
So there you go. There you got a decent look, a little distant, but yeah, if you're dealing with mustard cables, it might just be time to upgrade your PSU. And I can't tell you how impressed I am. Like, I can't adequately express how impressed I am that this 850 watt Thor, which is a beautiful component, is just $200. And like I was trying to say before, and I tripped over my own thoughts, PSUs are so often overlooked. They're so often just a black cube, and the fact that this is not just exciting as a PSU, but is an exciting addition to kind of any PC style, that's incredible. That's an incredible accomplishment of engineering and design in its own right. That him 101. My front fan on the case isn't spinning, but the RGB is on. Please help. Ooh, that is above my pay grade. I gotta tell you, I am not Geek Squad anymore.
Yeah, if you ever have an issue like that, even if it's simple, I always recommend reaching out to the manufacturer, because generally just having the tech support can help. From prior IT days, I will always say, double check your cables. Even if you had everything bolted up and it was fine, you'd be surprised sometimes that if you didn't plug something in all the way and get it to click or snap in, sometimes just a little bit of vibration can make it come apart just enough. Always check your cables first. Sometimes it can be as simple as just reconnecting something and you're good to go. But if it's not the cables, definitely just reach out to support for whoever the manufacturer is and get help that way and have their team help you walk through everything.
Especially when it comes to fans, there's no other component in a PC that absorbs as much vibration as a fan. So if there's anything that's going to slightly come loose bit by bit over time, it's probably a fan cable. So that's a great place to start. I do want to talk real quick. We can kind of breeze past this one unless there's there's something kind of cool about this one. This is the Asus TUF Gaming 750 watt PSU. So again, TUF, you're dealing with that kind of cool militaristic industrial style. It looks tough, it looks durable. It is 80 plus gold certified, still fantastically efficient, fully modular. The part that I wanted to bring up is that it's got a bit of future proofing in that it is ATX 3.0 and PCIe 5 compatible. Oh, you're welcome, Ben.
Yeah, and something I want to point out for this one too is this one also does additionally come with the pre-sleeved cables. That's actually what's in this system right here.
That's cool.
We're gonna try to show this. I don't know if this is gonna work super well.
And Jake, we're close to the amount of time we had talked about, and I love having you here. I don't want to keep you if you have other stuff to do. So please let us know when you need to start your Thursday evening.
I am here as long as chat wants me to be here for, so that I can help answer questions. That is what I'm here for. That is my night, as long as you guys need me.
You heard it, folks. So, yeah, that tough is what's in that beautiful build that Jake's playing with over there. Thank you for picking that up and showing it to us. I know that it's an amazing case, but it's not a mini case. It's not a mini build.
It's an average case. One thing too, since it just dawned on me, to fans, if you ever have one stop spinning, also check things, say BIOS or wherever you might have him set up, because some of our products feature low RPM or like a 0 RPM type mode if things are being cooled enough. And depending on how you have your fan curve set, it's possible to have fans that aren't spinning because they don't need to, especially if you're not, say, in the middle of a game or running a program and it's sitting there, say, on the desktop, or just to watch this awesome now. Fans that aren't spinning because they don't need to be. So always check some settings too to see what you might have things set out.
That's a great point. I hadn't considered that either. I'll be Jake. You did break up there a little bit, so I'll just try and complete the thought because I think it got across, but I just want to make sure. To our friend, that's him, or that him 101. Another what Jake was saying. Another thing to check is your fan settings. You might even go into your BIOS and check them there because a lot of components, like some of these PSUs, like many case fans and radiators have low RPM or no RPM modes where if temperatures are within a certain range, it won't turn on one or all of the fans because it doesn't need the thermal output or the thermal accommodation. So just make sure that you haven't accidentally activated some low RPM or no RPM mode on the fan or in your BIOS or something like that. So my bet is still on the connection, frankly, but that is a great secondary thought. Where this isn't my Pro Art, is it? This is the 24. Yep. Okay. Let me bring this over here. Yep. Well, that'll work. All right, everybody. This is the Asus Pro Art widescreen professional monitor. 24-inch full HD WUXGA display, 16:10 aspect ratio, 75 hertz refresh rate, and a 5 millisecond response time. It does have adaptive sync, which is one of those technologies we were talking about earlier, which matches the refresh rate of the monitor to the frame rate of the GPU, eliminating dropped pixels or dropped frames or torn frames. It does have height, pivot, tilt, and swivel adjustability, 1 DisplayPort, 1 HDMI, 1 D-sub, and 4 USB 3.2 Type A. I don't know what just happened. But, nope, we're... Okay. Hey, there we go. We're having a little bit of a difficulty on our end, but it's not with an Asus. It's with a vMix. Let's see, we got, oh gosh. I missed a question here. Give me one sec. Oh, good. Liquidation says, hey, I bought an Asus Dual 1070 Overclock Edition, and it works so amazing. That's great. Remy Ouija says, tried every way to reset my CMOS, but still stuck at boot screen. What's next? Asus ROG Strix B450F. Have you tried contacting tech support?
Yeah.
Like, that would be my first recommendation, especially with something that's what's the word? Fundamental. Like, that's that core level functionality. That's something that you want to address with tech to get you started, because at that point you can't even get the ball moving if it's not working with you. So check with tech support would be my recommendation, Remy, and you're welcome. But I don't want to talk over you, Jake. Did you have anything beyond that you'd offer?
No, there are tons of troubleshooting things that you can do, from trying a different CPU to trying the RAM one stick at a time. There's a lot you can do to troubleshoot stuff, but I will always recommend in instances like that, even if you intend to troubleshoot to begin with, open up dialogue with support. It's always best to open that dialogue, and if you resolve it before you need it, great. But they can oftentimes be an excellent resource to help you figure out the solution.
And Wolverine gives the classic tech support answer, have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in? Which, I've got to tell you, it works. It works sometimes. It works a lot of times. Be safe about it, but give that a shot. I do want to point out on this beautiful ProArt widescreen monitor, right now it's $65 off. That makes it just $224.99. That's a fantastic deal, and this is a beautiful display. Is there anything that you want to brag about on this, Jake?
I mean, you already talked about some of the real benefits of it. Obviously, our ProArt series are heavily dedicated towards content creators and graphic design, things of that nature. Not that you can't game on it at 75 hertz, but 100% sRGB, 100% Rec 709. Like, you've got fantastic color accuracy out of the box for any type of content that you might be doing with this, and you can get that at such a great price. The other addition, though, I will say, is that, and we've seen this occurring some now in phones, but we've moved up to 75 hertz on what you would consider a non-gaming monitor. And while, it may not seem like a whole lot, just in general use, that helps smooth out just the day-to-day operations that you might be using it for. And when you start doing stuff, especially if it's any type of graphical work or drawing and things of that nature where you need to see stuff quickly happening as you're making changes, that little bit of smoothness can actually help you like a quality of life way. So that's one of my favorite parts. Is color actually has been a big component for a long time now, but starting to add in higher refresh rates and things like adaptive sync just really bring the full package home to make it better, but also easier and just nicer quality of life for whatever you're using it for.
Well, that's a great that's a great extra detail that I always associate refresh rate with gaming. I think that's just I think a lot of us have been programmed to do that, and I think in most instances that's a safe assumption. Except there are these instances where just even that little bit, 75 up from 60, just helps smooth things out. It makes things a little easier to watch and a little easier to catch if something is maybe off, not quite right, not quite the way you want it to be. That extra smoothness is going to help you snag that faster.
Exactly. And that's kind of in the same vein of why this is not actually a 1080p monitor. It's a 16 by 10. It's 1920 by 1200, which doesn't sound like a whole lot. That's an extra 120 pixels. However, when you're talking about working with a 1080 piece of content, 1080p piece of content, you now have that extra little bit of bandwidth to have things like sliders or tools or things that you might be working with for, say, video. So it's just little touches like this that are starting to elevate, especially within this more affordable price range, just how much nicer it is to actually use the products. Less struggles, less frustrations, just, like I said, quality of life boost.
And that is also something that I hadn't considered. Yeah, even just that little extra pixel space allows you to have a complete 1080 picture and room for tools. That's an incredible quality of life addition as well. All right, we're gonna see how well I can put this back over here. What you don't see is that I have helper pixies named Joe. They help me get everything right. There he was. Oh, he's a mythical scamp. Guys, this ProArt Wide Series Professional Monitor, an incredible creativity tool, and we know that we have some creators in the chat. We know we have some creators watching right now. So what I would say, if you are making content, if the quality of color and accuracy matters to you, definitely look at the ProArt widescreen. We also took $65 off this price, making it just $224.99. That's a fantastic deal. There was one other point, golly, that I wanted to bring up about that, and it just... Oh! I just wanted to mention that if you're a content creator, make sure, and you love Asus, make sure you're talking about Asus out there. They're watching, they're looking for people to partner with. Also, please make sure that you check out Newegg Creator Program, because you can that's a way that you can partner with Newegg, and you can sell these amazing Asus products or anything off our site, and you get 3% on all them transactions. It's a great way to monetize your stream. And if you are an Asus fan, that can be what you're selling. That can be what you're offering your fans. You can tell them, hey, I bet you didn't know that Asus makes a PSU that is sexy and has its own pre-wrapped cables and is platinum efficiency certified. You can tell them that and they can go, oh my God, my favorite creator just told me about a component I didn't know exists. I'm going to go buy that. Boom, bang, bong. That's how it works. Wolverine says, I'll tattoo Asus on my body for a white 4090 or even a white 3090.
I don't know that we have any white 3090s or 4090s laying around, but we do have white t-shirts.
Hey, see? And hey, you know what's easier than tattooing anything on your body? Is just wearing something. Just wearing something that has a cool design on it. This is an ROG exclusive limited edition sweatshirt. Somebody's gonna win one in like 39 minutes. So make sure you're sticking around and throw Asus Takeover in the chat if you want to be considered. And thank you to whoever just took a look in the shopping cart. Wolverine says, I'll get the ROG eye tattoo for that sweatshirt. I mean, prove it. That's what I say. Let's move on one more to... Oh, was this what I just talked about? Or do we have two of the same thing? We have the Asus ProArt widescreen and the Asus ProArt 24-inch professional monitor. They seem to have...
They are different.
They are different, but they have very similar specs. 24-inch, 1920 by 1200 HDR display. 16 by 10 aspect, 75 hertz, 5 millisecond response time, height adjustable. Might be the biggest difference there is that it's only height adjustable. One USB-C DP alternative, 2 DP 1.4, and 2 HDMI 1.4. $30 off. That's just $249.99. Rootin' Tootin' says, I'll foster 12 ducks for that sweater. First of all, it's a sweatshirt. It's a sweatshirt. It's a different thing.
Look, if he gives me a free duck, he can call it whatever he wants to.
You heard it here first, Rootin' Tootin'. But hey, Wolverine, you're in luck because now it is time for us to talk about the Asus ROG Strix 27-inch Ava Edition HDR gaming monitor. This thing looks so cool.
Yeah, let's just start with the aesthetics. I've been a fan of this series and some others for a while, so I just love that we do stuff like this. You know, it's not super common, and it's great that, you know, fans of some series can have things like this catered to them. Obviously, the monitor itself's awesome. It's, you know, going to be based off our XG278QM, so you're getting 1440p, you're getting 270 hertz refresh rate, you're getting all of the base performance there that you would in the standard model. You're, you know, getting good color, you're getting IPS, you're getting all of the fun stuff there. But you also get the cool,
I know,
you know,
look at the back of that.
aesthetic. Like, that's awesome. And even cooler is, while not quite out yet, we do have a new edition with O2 now.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, that was just very, very recently announced. So, while unfortunately that one doesn't have the monitor, it's going to have some of the other similar range aesthetics and pieces to it. My suggestion is, if you're a fan because these were a limited run. Go ahead and grab this monitor now while you can, so you can pair it with the new O2 series, because that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and everyone is, this is a swag monitor. You're right, Ace. This is amazing. Let's bring that back up, actually, Johnny. I'm so sorry. They don't need to see me. They need to see Jake in this monitor. It's 27-inch, 2K display, 270 hertz refresh rate, an incredibly fast monitor. And speaking of speed, a 0.5 millisecond response time. One of the fastest response times I've ever seen. G-Sync compatible, so again, it's going to match its frame rate to the refresh rate to the frame rate being cranked out by your GPU. And for connectivity, it has 2 DisplayPort 1.4, 2 HDMI 2.0. Right now, guys, it's $200 off, making it just $599.99. It is a pro-level monitor with aesthetics, the likes of which I've never seen put into a monitor. I've never seen this level of detail and style put into a PC monitor.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's everything most people would need. Obviously, we've got faster monitors now. We've got 4K monitors now. Like, we've got other stuff that may be of a higher tier for some people, but you're talking 1440p and a 27-inch with, 270 hertz. Like, that is plenty sufficient for most people, whether you're playing FPS and trying to be competitive, whether you're, just playing your own games. Like, this will kill and crush basically anything you want. So especially if you're a fan of the Evangelion series, it's hard to beat this choice.
Well, and to your point, I don't know if Proansi, I'm not sure how to say your name over on TikTok, but Jake was just telling us that O2 components are coming out. They're coming out soon. It doesn't sound like this monitor is getting an O2 refresh, but there are other components that would look sick with this monitor too.
Yep, it's exactly that. You can have basically a full O2 system, which carries a heavily red color scheme up and stuff now on our social media that you can check out. So take a look at that, and then since we didn't have a monitor refresh at the time yet for this right now is your perfect bet. Like, if you're into that series, you can pick up a new O2 system and have the O1 monitor with it, and just be living the dream.
It is just such a cool monitor, and if you're going anywhere near that 270 hertz refresh rate, if that's what you're buying this for, then you don't probably want 4K anyway. You're going to be spending your money or your GPU power getting all those frames, not cranking out all those pixels. So the 1440p at 270 hertz, chef's kiss. With the 0.5 millisecond response time, that's the thing that blows me away the most. And then it's all wrapped up in this incredibly cool, and to what you said, it's very cool to see a brand recognize a fandom that they aren't necessarily directly associated with, right? There's not really a bunch of Evangelion like PC games out there, I don't think, not that I'm aware of, but Asus recognizes the overlap in that Venn diagram, right? Like, a lot of PC people are anime people, and a lot of people who care about their PC gaming care about their favorite anime shows and properties, and I can't think of one readily that is much more legendary than Evangelion.
No, it's been a long-running series between like new season updates and content that have launched and everything. So it's been around a while, and which is why it was one of the ones chosen, because we wanted to be able to give something fun to fans who don't always get to have some of those collabs that may be a little bit more common, especially in the gaming industry, like you mentioned.
Absolutely. Well, and you let me know when there's either a Gurren Lagann or like Cowboy Bebop themed one, and I'll probably build an entire PC just to have them. And if they both come out, I'll probably end up building 2 PCs.
Yeah, the day I can have a Swordfish 2 PC, I'm gonna be broke, but I'm gonna be very happy.
See you later, Space Cowboy. All right, guys. Coming up, we've got some Wi-Fi solutions. I want to remind everyone there's only 30 minutes left until somebody is going to be winning that big Asus prize. So if you haven't yet, make sure that you put Asus Takeover in the TikTok chat. Matt John says, you would sell out of 3D Space Cadet pinball themed ROG. Big facts. Big facts.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Oh, and Wolverine says the Tough series has a Demon Slayer GPU. Yep, absolutely. That's not to say by any means that this is the only pairing that Asus has done. This is just the one that we're featuring here. I do want to move on to this Zen Wi-Fi, though. The Zen Wi-Fi XT9 AX7800 tri-band mesh Wi-Fi system. This is the 2-pack in white. I believe we have the same ones in black right here on the desk. This is a very cool system. Mesh Wi-Fi is fascinating. Is there anything that you'd like to let everyone know about this particular package?
Honestly, for anyone that's already familiar with mesh Wi-Fi, they'll probably understand a lot of what's already presented here. It's a Wi-Fi 6 based system, which, for today's devices, is basically going to cover the best performance you're going to get for most anything. So you're going to be able to, max out using multiple phones, multiple, say, laptops, gaming devices, especially like at this point, Wi-Fi 6, you're well enough into the performance levels for, dealing with download speeds, if you're gaming, stuff of that nature. But where mesh comes into the picture is that you're no longer stuck to, say, just a single centralized device. The mesh is kind of in the name in that it's going to overlap and have the ability to do better coverage. So if you're let's say you're living somewhere and it's either a larger space or if you have some dead spots, this can really help with that in being able to have, say, your Wi-Fi broadcasting from more than just one place and being able to stay consistent and stable throughout your entire, say, living or workspace area. That's been one of the biggest benefits to kind of as networking has grown and adding things like mesh routers to our portfolio.
It's just a very cool technology, and we had someone in the Mad John, of course, saying that with his mesh system, the family watches TV and don't lag him down. It's an incredible, it's the type of tech that I wish I could have shown someone in the early 2000s to be like, hey, that Wi-Fi thing that's so hot and new? Check this out. That sound you've been looking for? Listen to this. This is, of course, a Wi-Fi 6 tri-band whole home mesh providing ultra-fast speeds of up to 7,800 megabits per second. Asus Range Boost Plus technology improves Wi-Fi signal range, expanding coverage up to 5,700 square feet. That is about 5 of my apartments. Up to 2.5 times faster wired connectivity with a 2.5 gigabit per second WAN port and LAN aggregation. The Asus Router app helps makes managing your mesh Wi-Fi system simple right from your smartphone. That is one of the most attractive things about this. Having simple network management is a godsend. It is so tedious sometimes getting into the back end of your Wi-Fi system. This incredible whole home system with 5,700 square feet of coverage is just $400. $400.
Yeah, it's for anyone who is really into networking stuff, that's a good value. Things, especially getting into mesh routers and stuff, are again, referencing back to earlier commentary about, newer tech and everything, like some of these features aren't super cheap, but you're getting them in a very good value package. And then, there's some other stuff too, for the people that care about this, but it's got, AI Protection Pro. It's got, advanced parental controls for any of you who might have kids and are concerned about content. It's got a lot of features and stuff baked in. Again, you've seen with some of the products we've discussed already that we really try our best to make things easy to use and intuitive to use, because nothing is more frustrating with tech than having something that you just cannot get set up, that you just cannot get to work properly. So it's got a lot of features like that baked in as well for making everything easy of use, from both the setup side to, what all you can do with it, whether it's keeping yourself secure or, keeping others from accessing content that, may not be desired to have broadcasted around for the network.
Well, that's fantastic, and ease is the name of the game, right? Like the easier things are, the more people will adapt them. That's what I keep saying about Asus design cases and things like that, is that the level of thought that is put into the engineering makes it easier to build, so more people will build. And that's great. Like PC community is an amazing community, and Asus specifically, Asus PC community is just the top. It's just where it happens. So it's beautiful to see it. I love seeing that they're putting that thought into trying to get more people under the umbrella. Yeah, like, come on in. It's great building your own PC. You can do it for less than $1,000 and have amazing parts throughout the entire rig. Like, I think that's an incredible thing that Asus is doing. Wolverine said it best. Asus is extremely user-friendly, whether you're a noob or a seasoned veteran. I couldn't have said it better than that.
Yep.
David Bowman asks, when's the last time you saw a GTX 660?
Ooh, a 660.
Oh, a while.
Yeah, that's been a while. If it's a 1060, there's, ironically enough, one sitting on my desk or desk beside me upstairs that we still happen to have here. 660, it's been a while though. I think the actual last card I saw of that age was my friend's 680, and that's been a little bit. Which is all to say that now's a great time to upgrade with some of the GPU deals going on.
Absolutely. GPUs have never been more affordable than they are right now. And I'll say, we've already seen some people talking about it in the chat. AI is coming. AI is the next great, like the big white whale that is going to gobble up GPU power. And it's going to be the new way that everything is done. AI is too powerful a tool to ignore, so we're going to be using it. Get those GPUs now before the prices go up again, because they're going to be in high demand.
Yeah, AI is, I mean, it's in gaming now. It's DLSS, it's based off AI stuff, so it's coming for everyone. We're also going to get the joys of AI. That's at least the one benefit this time. Unlike mining, us gamers will also get to enjoy benefits from AI.
Oh yeah, AI is going to revolutionize everything. I get that it's scary, and I get that there's lots of things that there's a lot of baggage that comes with it, but it's so incredibly powerful. There's no way that we cannot use it. Like it's going to permeate everything. And it's going to make everything a lot better, but it takes power. It takes processing power to make that AI I. That's what puts the I in the AI. I really could talk about this forever. We got 20 more minutes. I want to get through a couple more products while we have Jake sticking around. The next one on the list is the Asus ROG Strix Flare. This one has the Cherry MX Brown switches, mechanical keyboard, 100% anti-ghosting, full key rollover, onboard memory for on-the-fly macro recording. This is a gamer's dream keyboard. I love the 10-key design. It has a customizable logo badge for adding your own flair to your gaming station, which is just an incredible detail.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite little parts is that, you know, as silly as it might sound, you can add your own logo there, and stuff like that can just be fun. Obviously, you've got RGB, you've got a full size keyboard, you've got everything you need there for gaming, or I mean, if you want to use it for work, that's also perfectly okay. Shout out to the numpad on there for that purpose. But you know, it does come with the customization there, and then obviously we've got tools to add further customization to it. So, and it comes in both red and blue switches as well. So whether you're a fan of clicky or tactile or linear, you'll be covered with the different options available. And then for anyone who hasn't gotten an opportunity to use a keyboard with media keys, I highly recommend doing so. It's far more convenient than you give it credit for until you get to experience, say, not having to go click on the sound volume to change stuff, or not having to go open up Spotify and change your songs each time if you're trying to listen to music while you're working. Stuff I know from experience. So it's just packed full of features. It's basically one of those kind of has everything in the kitchen sink in it. So just a great all-around, all-purpose board for anyone to use.
I mean, it has all of that. It's gorgeous looking. It has the backlighting RGB, which I love that detail. The fact that there's RGB lighting under the keyboard, giving it that kind of halo light around it to match the keys is incredible. What I think is maybe most incredible of all is that right now it's just $74.99. Like, at its regular price of about $120, that's a steal. A keyboard like this could easily cost you close to $200. So the fact that it's only about $120 normally, and right now it's only $74.99, that's an incredible bargain. Please don't sleep on it. If you are needing a keyboard, or if you want to upgrade your keyboard, this is the one to look at, especially if you are a person who consumes a lot of media through their PC, and a person who games. This does both of those extremely well.
Absolutely.
I gotta say,
like I said, it's just a good all-around chore. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I gotta say, Nelly Donut says, nerds. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, accurate.
Accurate. Good. Here's your
Not
here's
the worst
your
thing I've been
sticker.
called, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've been called a lot worse by, well, I'm not gonna say anything. I've been called a lot worse by people who matter more to me personally. So, but thank you for that, Nelly. Your input's appreciated. Coming up, we have another keyboard. This is the Asus ROG Strix Scope 2 96 wireless gaming keyboard. This has the pre-lubed ROG NX Snow switches for great keystroke feel and consistency with fast actuation, integrated dampening foam with added switch dampening pad structure, absorbs pinging noises and echoes for improved keystrokes, and you can connect using Bluetooth, allowing you to connect up to 3 devices, 2.4 gigahertz RF USB receiver with ROG Speed Nova wireless technology or wired USB.
Yeah, this is what happens when you put everything in the kitchen sink in there and find more stuff to put into it. I'm gonna harp on, no pun intended on our mouse there, but I'm gonna harp on the switches.
Yeah.
For anyone not into like custom mechanical keyboards and switches and stuff, it may not sound like a big deal having different switches and everything. You addressed it a little bit with the pinging, but there's been a lot of engineering that went into the switches themselves for this. And as someone who has spent quite a bit of time and a non-insignificant amount of money trying a lot of different switches, because I like switches that are very smooth and that are very quiet and aren't scratchy and don't make a lot of noise and everything. I was pretty well blown away by the new switches that we've put into this, the new Snow switches. They are extremely quiet, they are extremely smooth, and you're going to have both a feel and sound to it that really speaks to quality. I mean, obviously, you've got features like the built-in media key and stuff like that that's going to be useful. You've got 10 keys shrunk down into a smaller package, so fits a little bit more nicely on the desk. You've got the high quality 2.4 gigahertz connection in there, so it's not just Bluetooth. Like, you're going to be running on high quality wireless, perfect for gaming and everything. Like, you've got all of that in there. But I really love this board because of the switches. Like, even if I didn't want the board, I'd be tempted to buy the board to pull the switches out of it. They really are that good.
It's an incredible keyboard. And again, we had the Matt John asking, do they give you a satisfying clunk? No, these are nice, silent, right? These are smooth, whispery little keystrokes. And the Wolverine says, yeah, look at the wrist rest. Geocast will be announcing the winner soon. This is a $174.99 keyboard, an incredible value, especially for having the ROG Speed Nova wireless technology built in there, so you can trust that reliability and that responsiveness even when wirelessly connected. And that's on top of all those incredible engineering advances that went into making those responsive but silent switches. The Dude Dad asks, Jake, does Asus have any left-handed mice?
We don't have any dedicated left-handed mice, but we do have quite a, we have at least a few designs that are more ambidextrous. I've known a few people that are left-handed and have used those and haven't had any issues with it. So that's something that I would recommend looking into, or just like ambidextrous mice. Unfortunately, like left-handed specific mice are not nearly as common, and especially once you get into sizes and like just the profile shape of it. Sometimes looking at those, like the ambidextrous mice, might end up being a better option. While it's not fully ambidextrous, we do have one that is a somewhat kind of standardized shape in the ROG Keras, and that one, while it's got the buttons are on the left side of it, so for typical like right-handed thumb use, that may be one option for you with the overall feel of it. I believe that you can find some reviews and stuff like that online as well from some people who have been using some of our products and how they can work for left-handed use.
Well, there you go. And I guess, yeah, that's the plight of the left-handed, is that it's a numbers game in a lot of ways, but an ambidextrous mouse is a great way around that. And Asus makes great ones. We have one last product to talk about here before we we're gonna go back to some of the ones that we talked about earlier. But this last new product is the Asus RS200 ROG Strix riser cable. Just a 240 millimeter riser cable, female to male PCIe 3.0 by 16 connectivity. EMI shielding to block interference and performance degradation. Excuse me. It's just $14.99. That's a $35 discount right now.
Yeah, not a whole lot to say for a riser cable. They're pretty straightforward. But if you're rocking like RTX 30 series, anything older than that, some of the AMD series, then if you're just looking for a new look. If you're like, hey, I kind of like my system, I'm happy with the performance, and I just want a little bit of a new look, something like this can easily be the way to go. You can, for a lot of cases, quickly flip your card over and have it vertical mounted instead of horizontal, and boom, that can change the look of an overall system quite a bit. So definitely a cheap way to kind of change things up a little bit there.
Well, and for some, it's just the only way to get maybe a larger card into a smaller case. I'm sure that there are instances where the only way that you're going to fit that 3090 in that PC case is by making sure that it's on a riser, that it's vertically mounted. So options are always great. Asus has this and you in mind when they build these components. So make sure that you're taking a look at everything in that shopping bag down there, because these deals will not be active much longer. We only have 10 minutes until we're going to select that winner. Let's go back to the top. I want to talk to you a little bit about some cool motherboards that we have here. The first one, though, is not one that we actually have here in the studio. That's the Asus Prime Z690P Wi-Fi D4. This has the Intel LGA 1700 socket, so again, it's ready for the 12th and 13th gen Intel processors, the latest 2 generations. It supports DDR4 at 5300 megahertz overclocked. And for expansion, you have one PCIe 5.0 by 16, one 4.0 by 16, two 3.0 by 16, and one 3.0 by 1, as well as 3 PCIe 4.0 M.2 slots. This is a beautiful motherboard. Prime is the word that I was looking for earlier when I was talking about another potential look for the Asus lines, is that Prime. And they're always just a gorgeously detailed product.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely take more of a minimalist style with Prime. Something kind of, more simple and elegant to it than some of the other designs that, are awesome, but may also fit a much more specific aesthetic. But something like this board, one of my favorite features is that D4 on there that designates that it's DDR4. Because you're talking about Z690 and you're talking about maybe being in that place to where, you could use a little bit more CPU power, but you're not really looking to go overkill. And you already might have, say, DDR4 RAM, and you might already want to reuse your case. You may even be reusing the graphics card and some other stuff. And literally you're just looking to upgrade your your CPU and thus need to upgrade the motherboard. Something like this is an excellent option where you don't have to go all in and break the bank open just to, build a whole new system. You get a motherboard like the Prime and then grab the chip that you need for it, whether, you're going like 12600K, whether you're going, even i3 or i5, especially depending on what you're upgrading from. So something like this is an excellent option to not only upgrade, but be able to save a little bit of money on the other end, not having to upgrade all the other components with it as well.
Absolutely. It's a great way to do some upgrading, but not force your hand into upgrading too much all at once. This is an incredible, and the Matt John said it, it's a beautiful looking, but very affordable motherboard. Even before the discount, we're taking $70 off the price tag for everyone right now, but making it just $149.99, but that puts it at, what, $220 at regular price for a modern motherboard. A motherboard with the current LGA socket. That's just incredible to me. On top of all that functionality with that price, then it looks as beautiful as it does. That's just amazing to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And Geocast says it also. Sheesh.
Yeah, it's a great option all around. And I know you guys have been running some 12th gen deals and stuff as well for the chip. So, keep a lookout for a good deal and say a 12600K. And not that Z690 can't run 13th gen as well. You just generally need a BIOS update to do it. But, some of the deals that Newegg runs on the chips, you combine that with a deal like this on a board, and you're not spending a whole lot to get what can potentially be a fairly sizable upgrade in the CPU.
And that's what we, and I love that Asus does too, try to offer everyone. Again, the more affordable, the easier it is to do, the fewer difficult driver updates, the fewer hassles in cable management, the easier and more accessible all this gets, the more people come into the tent and want to build and talk and be PC people. Newegg loves it, and it's beautiful to see a company like Asus have that same type of spirit in wanting to extend PC building to everyone. I know I just kind of like soft pitched that up. I do want to. We got like 6 minutes until we're choosing our winner. I want to get to one last motherboard in the time we have, and that's this one right here. This is the Asus ROG Maximus Z690 Hero Wi-Fi. Again, LGA 1700 socket for 12th and 13th gen Intel processors. This is a DDR5 motherboard at 6400 megahertz overclocked. For expansion, you've got 2 PCIe 5.0 by 16 slots and 1 4.0 by 16. For M.2, you have 2 4.0 M.2 slots and 1 3.0 M.2 slot. It's $209.99, making it just $390 right now for a motherboard with PCIe 4.0 expansion capability.
Yeah, this really is just kind of one of our peak designs that we've had going on for a while now. I know we have a couple motherboards that are considered higher tier, which literally has everything packed into it that you can pack into a motherboard. But when you're talking about just an excellent, solid option that's beautiful in the aesthetics, and also just provides top-of-the-line performance and support for, you know, any of the chips that are out, you don't have to have any concerns at all if you're putting, say, a 12900K or, you know, after a BIOS update, a 13900K in this board. It's going to easily handle everything thrown at it. And then, too, just getting some of the fun features, at least to me, who has to build systems far too often, is things like there's a little button on the side near where the right side connectors and stuff are, and that's actually to release the clip for that first slot. And so we built in a lot of these features that are usability, so that, you know, when you're putting in your nowadays giant graphics card in there, that it doesn't matter if it's hard to access. And so that's one of my favorite things about the board, is some of these features like that we have in there. Things like the Q latch for the M.2, where I personally really hate trying to hold the little M.2 stick down and get the tiny little screw in there and keep everything in place while I try to screw it down. You don't have to deal with that anymore. You've got things like the Q latch feature and the little release latch for the graphics cards and stuff that go into that first slot as well. So feature rich, top of the line in things like the VRM and stuff. You're never going to have issues again with keeping that aspect cool, but also running in the chips. So anything that you need, you can throw at it. And even just being, you know, chock full of things like USB ports, which for a lot of people, they can go through them very quickly. You've got 3 Type-C on the back. And with Type-C becoming more and more prevalent, stuff like that can be a big deal, along with an additional 6 of, you know, the high-speed, you know, USB as well. So, and then for those of you who don't care about the fact that it does have Wi-Fi 6E, which was we established is already excellent, you've got 2.5 gig LAN on there too. You literally just have everything packed into it that most any user could want, whether gaming or even if you want to use it for work purposes, because as you mentioned, it's got that PCIe 4.0 support and everything baked into it.
Yeah, it's an incredible motherboard that is just so capable. And that's, I mean, that's not even talking about the fact that I think is it 2 or is it all 3 of those USB-C ports are Thunderbolt 4 compatible?
Yes, they are all Thunderbolt compatible. And then as well, so I mentioned that these are Intel 13th gen compatible, so you've got some PCIe 5.0 support on there too. So, or I lied. So it's two of the ports are Intel Thunderbolt 4 and DisplayPort 1.4 compatible.
That's just incredible. I mean, and Thunderbolt 4 is a really cool just value add to any build that you're doing as well. And it opens a lot of doors, not just in like practicality, but in connectivity as well. Guys, we got like a minute 20 left. I would love everyone to do your last chance. This is your last chance. Throw Asus Takeover in the TikTok chat. This is also your last chance to ask Jake any questions because he's got to go here soon. We're going to choose the weather, We're going to choose the weather together. I choose hot.
I'm choosing
Look, I'm
cold.
right.
Bring me cold. I've had enough heat lately here. Thanks, though.
Oh yeah, no, I'm done with it. But I argue when people say that we don't have seasons in SoCal, because we have 4 very distinct seasons. There's award, pilot, rain, and fire. That's it. Those are the 4 seasons we get in SoCal. How do they work? All right, guys. Oh, it's 27 seconds. It's time. We're just gonna do it. Can we select a winner, please? Yes. Let's get on this. Jake, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. I love having these days where I get to talk to you.
It's always a pleasure to be here too. It's great being able to join in, chat with you guys, talk about cool gear, and also being able to answer some questions and just being able to help out and give some feedback as well. It's always fun, even just hearing what you guys come up with, not just the fun comments, but some of the questions. It's stuff I don't always get to think about. So I appreciate being here and appreciate everyone who joins in and watches and comes to chat.
Well, I absolutely learn something. Not even just every time you visit, pretty much like every 10 minutes I talk to you, I learn something new, which I love. It makes me feel more competent, and I love having these takeovers. I love learning about Asus, and I love seeing how excited people actually get for this brand. Because, I mean, it's apparent, not just when you work in the space. Like, working in the space, you just know. You see Asus everywhere. You see it at every level. You see people in the grassroots, like, just learning to play and stream and get off the ground. And then you go to PAX and you go to these things where they're having, like, high-level gaming competition, and it's all Asus. It is the brand of choice, and it's great to see how seriously Asus takes that, right? Like, it's not just like, yeah, we're the best brand and don't you all want Asus? It's like, no, we want you to want Asus because we want Asus to be the best. You want to see the ease of build, the ease of entry, the ease, like, this all matters to Asus, and it's what makes people gravitate to them more and more. Heart of the City just said Asus is the best. What do you want?
Absolutely, and that's one of the best parts about being here is, I'm a big fan of the brand. Not just because I work here. I work here because I am a fan of the brand. We talked about it the first time I was on here, that's how this all came about and why I've joined the Asus team. And to see other people also share that love for it, it reinforces to me just how good I've got it and how I am. I get to play with all this cool stuff and build this tough GT502 system. But that there are also these awesome fans and the wonderful community that I get to interact with. That's what makes the job so fun, is that all the other people that are passionate about this, I get to come and talk to you guys and be like, hey, this is the cool stuff we have, and what questions do you have? Let me answer, let me help out, so that everyone can also enjoy this stuff too.
I love that. I love what is the opposite of gatekeeping? I love the welcoming, the invitation is really what it is. It's Asus invites you to join PC building. You invite, and someone else said, of course, also the best brand in phone gaming phones as well. Asus just really is inviting all gamers to game at their best, game at their highest level. Did we get a winner?
Yeah, we're just trying to project it.
Oh, it's okay. You can just tell me.
Oh, it's Mucha David.
Mucha David! Are you still here?
We were calling for it all day.
Oh my gosh, please still be here. Mucha David. Mucha David? Are you here? Oh no, I'm gonna feel so bad. They were here like not even that long ago. I don't see him for a minute as I'm scrolling back in the chat. Uh-oh. Matt John, come on. All right. I mean, I guess we'll have to do another one. I'll give him a 5 count. We're gonna go 5, 4, 3. Chetty B, 2, 1. Ah, gosh, I'm sorry. Ah, that really is too bad. Okay, we'll choose another winner. Mucha David. Ah. I also think I was saying his name wrong the entire time. I think I said much a David, which is just the whitest thing I could have done. It's just not the right instinct.
Next one is Drayson.
Drayson?
Or that's how you spell it.
How?
The other one behind you?
Ah!
Or that's how you pronounce it.
Drayson! Drayson, are you here? Yay! Drayson, congratulations. You just won this incredible limited edition ROG gaming sweatshirt, courtesy of Asus ROG. We're so happy that you were stuck around and you won. Please, slide into our DMs. Let us know what your preferred contact email is. We'll send you a form, and then that shirt is yours. We'll get it on the way. Everybody, just give it up so much for Jake. Thank you so much for spending the time with us, man. I appreciate you so greatly, and I love all the time. And you went double the time. Like, we were supposed to be done a while ago. I'm very grateful. Hey! Balloons for Jake! Guys, thank you all so much. Give it up for Jake. Jake, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon. I can't wait. There's another quarter coming up. We'll get some more live streams going. And I haven't forgotten, I want to do this live PC build with you. I want to do, like, I'd love to do the 1,000 and under build. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. But I also know that you and I have a mutual friend named Kevin at Be Quiet, who also really wants to do a live PC build. So one of the other nice things about Asus is that, yeah, Asus works great with Asus, and you can make a top-to-bottom Asus build, but Asus works great with every brand. You play really well with others.
Absolutely. And as always, it's great to be on here. Thanks for, giving me the opportunity to join in again, and huge thanks, not to me, but to the chat and community for joining in. That's why I get to be here in the first place, but it's also why I enjoy being here too for a large part of it. So thank you all for joining and, appreciating having me on and showing some love for Asus and myself.
Hey, absolutely. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for your time, Jake. You have a great night. We love you. Thanks, pal.
See you, everyone.
Bye, Jake. Take care. Guys, thank you so much. This has been a great time. Another successful Asus takeover. I'm so grateful for you guys for taking the time and being with us. And remember, folks, these are great deals. Not only are these incredible components, not only are these the best, most reliable and powerful components in the market, they're at great prices. They're at a great price on their own, and then here at Newegg, we love offering you deals as well. So please, do me a favor right now. If everyone here just clicks that shopping bag, just open it up and see what the deals look like, because I think you're going to be surprised how affordable some of these top-of-the-line components really are. Yeah, I know that's not you, David, but good try. Oh, Mucha David, I see you now, man. But I didn't see you when I called you. I'm so sorry. That was a while ago. I didn't see you during the time when I called you. Mucha David, I don't think that's true. I don't think you got muted, friend. I'm looking at everyone here who would have muted you. and we didn't. So I'm sorry. Come back. We're gonna do other prizes, and they won't always be sweatshirts. So stick around. We love you guys. We will see you guys very soon. Have a great night. Take care. Bye bye.